Hello everyone, welcome to episode 2 of Shumimasen. This is the official episode 2. As I've said before, episode 0 or the episode 1 was a beta run. This, as we all know now, is a podcast about geek culture and the power of believing in yourself. I am your host, guys, and with me today is Raymond. But wait, we have a third co-host lurking in the corner. Well, remember the last episode, how I said we had a surprise for you? This is it. Introducing our third co-host, the man himself who's failed 2 papers to try and go pro in gaming in uni, coming back from a long hiatus, Mr. Thillak Naidu. Everybody fucking clap right now.
I'm clapping right now.
Just clap right now. So, Thillak, a bit about Thillak. We've known him for just way too long. We've known him since first year uni, basically. Gone through some, I wouldn't say tough times, but some bullshit together. You know, him rocking up to uni. I mean, we'll get into this, but him rocking up to uni with 2 arms both broken at the same time. But he's been living in the UK for a bit because he couldn't get into the League of Legends scene in New Zealand. So, you know, he kind of like fled the country kind of thing. So anyway, Thillak, how are we?
Fantastic. That was an amazing introduction. Thank you.
I mean, you know, you're all third co-host now, so we really got to get the hype going for the Thillak train.
I know, it's so official, man. It's like, damn, so far so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, spicy. Nice. So yeah, my name's Thillak. Nice. Firstly, you fucker. I remember that uni orientation. There was a first uni lecture, and I came with 2 broken wrists, and even what was her name? The head of pharmacy, whatever her name was, she like called me out, and I was like, "Bro, come on, what are you gonna do me like that?"
Maureen or Marie? Yes.
Oh,
Marie. Yes. I mean, I remember.
Like, threw out a joke.
Yes. It was like, because I mean, for viewers or listeners who don't really know, I guess I didn't do, you know, first year pharmacy with you boys, right? I did biomed first and then went to pharmacy. And so I didn't really know Thillak and stuff. Literally the first day of second year pharmacy, I go in, this big fucking like dude turns up, both arms broken, and everyone's like, "Hey, Thillak!" I was like, "Who's this Thillak fella? And why is his arms broken?" Kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
Didn't really talk to him for like, I don't know, maybe like I say hi and shit, right? For the first maybe like month. And then after your cast came off was when we started talking, because why? And this is the story that is going to change the world, is I saw you in the gym working on your little wrist exercises with like 1 kg weights. Do you remember that shit?
I'm fucking gonna kill myself, man. Like these, I remember it's clear as fucking day. Like, just to give you guys a picture as well, these 2 casts on both my arms were like bright blue. Like it wasn't like a white, like hit it. It was bright blue, like it was a fucking high-vis jacket. And I remember like taking it off. If anyone's ever broken anything, the moment you take off a cast, it's like it's painful to lift a pen. Like it's stupid. So I remember after a couple of weeks of taking it off, I was like, bro, like my wrist hurt, like it's so weird. And I went to my physio, and the guy's like, you know, your ego's gonna take a hit, but you need to just do gentle weights and do weird exercises. And I fucking go to the gym, literally my first day doing this shit in front of like uni students who are there to get jacked, you know, shredded for R&V and all this stuff. And I'm there bent over a little bar bench and fucking doing 1 kilo rotations, and then the guy just walks by and just laughs. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
I walk by and I'm just like, what the fuck's going on here?
Literally no feelings. He just walked by and just laughed in your face.
Yeah, the thing is, I like kind of, I mean, I wouldn't have if it wasn't like Tilly, you know, like I knew him from pharmacy, like kind of, you know, we were like acquaintances by then. So I walk by, I'm like, of course, the one person who's like doing the weirdest shit in the gym is the guy who turns up on the first day of uni with like no arms, basically.
That's boss says though.
Yeah.
Like, most people would just like buy 1 kgs and go do it at home. So
yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm gonna show up.
One thing about Thillak, he don't give no shit, man. I'll give him that. He don't give a fuck.
Not only that, I'm fucking cheap. So for uni, the uni gym, it's cheap as fuck to pay for the whole year in one go.
Yeah.
So I paid for that prior to obviously the accident. So like I was like at uni and I was like, I'm making this fucking worth it, man.
The crazy thing is, you pay for the whole thing in 1 year, right? And then you break your arms, and then you thought you saved money, but in reality, nothing. You actually wasted money by joining the gym because you used that like twice since your arms were broken.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I was like, yeah, maybe I'll use cardio. Yeah, fuck that. Never happened.
Yeah, that's never happening.
You do cardio for like 2 times, and you're like, fuck this, bro.
Genuinely, man.
So anyway, as I've said, you've been in the UK. How is it there? How is the UK?
Well, yeah, so basically what I'm doing is it's a 2-year visa where a lot of Kiwis, they come here for 2 years, and you can work and travel and stuff. And it makes sense because if you stay in the UK, a flight to Italy is like $40 return,
Yeah.
which is obviously much better than what it is from New Zealand. So yeah, right now,
I mean, sorry, but
no,
like in New Zealand, even going from like Auckland to Hamilton's $40 return, man. Come on.
This is more than that, bro.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, so far, obviously, clapped, like cheeks got clapped by COVID and all this.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Yeah.
But right now it's a really great time because like summer, heat wave, everything's here, and this is our Freedom Week. So, gradually over the last few months, the Prime Minister's been like slowly opening it up. And this week, like nightclubs are opening.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So you best believe your boy's getting absolutely plastered tomorrow night. But yeah, like
we're recording today,
like,
not tomorrow. Then, or else you come in all fucked.
Yeah, come in all like hungover and shit.
Nah, man, that's how I was like, yeah, let's do it tonight because like tomorrow I'd be absolute, like I wouldn't even be able to talk. So yeah, so like honestly, it's probably the best time to be in the UK since obviously before COVID.
Yeah, because my sister's there, and it's been lifted. A lot of things have been listed thanks to thanks to Bojo. But what she's saying is that the travel. I mean, the whole idea is to really travel Europe rather than just the UK, right? And it's kind of like good and bad because like yes, things are opening up, but for the whole 2020, it's like almost like quote unquote wasted because you couldn't even go to like France, which is one boat ride away essentially, or one train ride away. So she's like, it's a good and bad thing. But what she's saying is that in the UK, because it's so like obviously during lockdown and stuff, if the better your house, the better it is, right? Let's be honest. If you have like a banging house suite, and she's like, because the UK is pretty pricey, and rent is quite pricey, and most of us Kiwis who go there kind of like slum it out for a bit. She's like, it's the worst time to be in lockdown because my house is, a shit brick kind of thing.
Wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I it's really cool that you went there and stuff, and you coming back with all this perspective. But like, what terrible timing, to be honest.
Mate, don't get me started. Is your sister on a 2-year visa as well, or is she just what is she doing?
Oh, she went there on a 2-year visa, and then she got like extended by her company, so they really liked her. Yeah, she got sponsored because like apparently, I mean, this is a call out to all the fucking Brits, but apparently you guys just don't work hard and us Kiwis just take the jobs just like that, mate. Just like that. So maybe just stop going to the pubs for like 2 fucking seconds and work. Just saying. But no, just kidding. I mean, like, I don't know how she got sponsored, to be honest. She hates her job. She hates the people. And she just was like, I mean, she was literally on the way of, like, she was already booking her tickets to come back to NZ.
Oh, shit.
And they were just like, oh, you've been really good, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, and the funny thing is she hates people, she hates her job, and she works in like the HR department. And I'm like, you literally know HR stands for like people, like, you know. And so they just basically sponsored her for another 2 years and stuff. I think it's a lot easier though, because her partner's there too. And he's from the UK.
Right.
And so I think like, I don't know if there's like a visa for that or whatever, but it might be something to do with that, the government's like, oh,
no, yeah, that
like
does make a bit of sense.
or whatever. So
like,
I mean,
you're
sorry,
absolutely right, man. The timing of all of this,
yeah,
fucking ridiculous. Because obviously we only have 2 years, and majority of those 2 years have just been inside the flat.
like half of that literally got taken by COVID.
Yeah. And it's like you said, if you have a shit flat, your mental health just goes way down. So I actually moved. I moved flats about 3 or 4 times.
Remember that? I saw that on your Facebook. Yeah. You were like moving during the COVID period. You're like, nah, fuck.
Mate, yeah, I genuinely moved so many times because it's like, well, honestly, to be fair, my first flat that was in London, I could walk to work, and that was like a blessing already. I was like a 20-minute walk away. but it didn't have a living room. So a lot of the cheap landlords there, they convert the living room to another bedroom.
Right.
So how does that
So
work?
the flat was.
Do people
No,
just
what?
walk through some guy's room just to get to like the kitchen or something?
No. So
The kitchen is the toilet, Raymond. Like someone's just taking a shit while Thillak's like making toast in the corner. They're like, "Hey mate," and they're like, "Oh, I want to pass me a slice of toast while I'm on the fucking toilet, mate." That's the UK in a nutshell, isn't it?
No, honestly, like you're not fucking wrong. But no, so basically, there's still separate rooms. So like, if they're like on the way to the kitchen, it's like a separate room
Yeah,
for the whole house.
yeah.
It's like it's very easy to become a bedroom because it's already separated from the whole house.
Right.
But like yeah, so I moved quite a few times. Even one of the flats I moved from was down the street, and it was like when you would like hire a car, but it's too far to like walk across with it. Yeah, we moved the furniture to the next house. Oh my
it
god,
works, right?
It's clunkier than you think, trolleys, and they hold less than you think when you need big things to like one microwave, boom, the whole trolley's gone basically.
Exactly, yeah. We like put the TV in, and we're like, I guess we have to go to the flat now. Like it was just, it just seemed like it was going to work, but it just I think made it a longer process. But you know what? It was fucking worth the pen. So
now the funny thing is like whenever you're moving, and personally I've moved like literally down the street as well, same as UT. You always think like, oh, it's down the street, I don't need a mover, I can do this without like cars or anything or whatever, right? And you're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And you regret it the minute you pick up anything heavy and you walk 2 steps and you're like, yeah, I'm not gonna carry this bit like literally 100 meters or 200 meters or whatever because this shit heavy.
Especially the things that can break.
Yes,
yeah,
like your anime figurines and shit, right?
Oh yeah, I heard about this. I need to hear more about these fucking figurines, man. Because the only one.
Yeah, I mean, this is a podcast about geek culture. We just talked about the UK for like the past like fucking 20 minutes. Before we get into that though, T, what about you? Like in terms of geek culture, any like while in the UK, I know you used to be huge into gaming. I assume you don't game much in the UK, or you can't game much in the UK.
You know what? Like you said, I'm a proper gamer, right? I fucking for all you League of Legends boys out there, get it. But I play literally every game, and I literally failed first year uni because I was gaming too much. Like that's
actually a fact. Like that's not me just being a dick. That's literally a fact, isn't it?
No, so like to put a bit of backstory. My friend and I went to our first chemistry lecture in first year, so it was like a revision of everything we learned in high school. We were like, mate, what a fucking easy papers. And then we didn't go to any of the lectures. Instead, we played League of Legends, Counter-Strike, even a bit of Dota and stuff, like all-nighters on all the shit. And then we were like, yeah, the lecture's easy as. We didn't go to a lecture until our mid-semester test. I walked into the test, and I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, it was
That's better than me. That's better than me. Do you know the chemistry mid-semester test? I didn't realize there was a test until the afternoon of the test because it was an evening exam.
Yeah. No, Ray, there was even worse one where you showed up at the wrong time and it was meant to be a morning exam and you came after and then you're like, what? Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was that as well.
That was the bad one.
That was fucking bullshit because the night before I checked the Facebook group and people were asking, oh, what time is the exam? And people were saying, oh, it's in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So that's why I showed up at like 12. Like,
you literally showed up as like we were exiting the room, and I was like, "Why is Raymond out here?" And you're like, "Oh, I showed up late." But then you smashed it.
I actually remember that.
You remember that, right? It was one of the first.
I remember it because
205.
Yes. Fuck! What a shit show pharmacy was, eh? I mean, like, come on!
What a joke of a degree.
Yeah, I mean, it's we talk about this to no end off recording, I guess, but. It's such a weird industry now where it's so thankless. The pay is alright, I guess, but it's so thankless and yet it's kind of that one of those jobs where you know,
Necessity, right?
yeah, it's a necessity, and you have to study so fucking hard for it. But then you get out, and like the reality is, like people are just cunts to you. And I'm gonna say cunts because I'm Kiwi, so you know, I say cunts all the time. But like, you know, they just dick fucking hits to you, and it's insane. I mean, you wouldn't treat your doctor how you treat your pharmacist, right? Let's be
It's
honest.
completely
yeah.
different how people treat the
Exactly, but they
doctors.
do.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go into like an hour-long rant because I can. So anyway,
trust
Thillak,
me.
yeah, you know, going into that whole gaming thing, I mean, a bit of, you know, we gave you the backstory, but Tillak's actually really good at gaming, so it must have been really hard in the UK, you know, to not game for what 2 years now.
No, honestly, you're so right because you guys, in one of your early episodes, you talked about summer holidays where you asked Ray, what was it, 2 weeks, mate?
Yeah.
The entire summer holiday, I would have been more than happy to be locked in my room for 8 weeks, just gaming 24/7, like no problems at all.
It's such a crazy thing, right? To like, I mean, you're saying that right now. Like me, Raymond, and shit, we all understand. We basically accept it. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, it's part of, like, almost like part of streaming culture now. 24-hour streams, not even a big deal anymore, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But I literally remember back to high school. If you told your mates, or maybe not like your gaming mates, but like if you told kind of like the general populace, like, oh, I just spent 2 weeks literally 8 to 8 gaming, playing CS:GO, whatever. It would have been like, oh, get a life, bro, blah, 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 whatever.
That's
like what you do
exactly
in your
yeah.
holidays and
It's
stuff,
so
and you're just
different
like,
now.
oh.
Like Gen Z has it so easy, man. They don't even know.
I think it's also a bit reversed because it's like I'm not sure if it's the same for you guys, but like Asian household things, I was never allowed to game on most weeknights or school nights.
Okay.
And on the weekends, I'll only be allowed to play like a couple hours. So like getting to high school towards like the end of high school, fucking hell, I feel like I just rebelled against everything and like had to make up for lost time throughout my entire life, which is why.
I honestly think like Asian parents with this rule. I mean, you're absolutely right. I used to be only able to game like 1 hour a day before, or in the weekends or whatever, right? As long as you finish your homework. That's probably why, like from our culture of Southeast Asian shit, there's not that many pro gamers. Let's be honest.
For sure, I completely agree with that, and I think that's why. Which you're so right? You wouldn't be like, oh, yeah, awesome, I fucking gamed. Because I imagine going up to a girl back then being like, yeah, I fucking love Counter-Strike. They're gonna be like, what a virgin. Like,
they'll be like, what a fucking NC, get out of here. I can smell the virginity, get the fuck out. And you are like, and now it's like, oh, I play Counter-Strike. They're like, for C9? Oh shit. And they're like, froth, mate. They froth for it.
You're global elite, please carry me.
Yeah, I know. So many girls game nowadays, and it's such a stereotype, that whole gamer go thing. But like, it came from this, it came from this like this unacceptance of gaming, back then.
Do you think there's more now, or do you think it's just because it's more accepted now? Do you think they were hiding it before?
I'm going to go first. This is literally, I could go on about hours on this because like it was such a like debated fact. Like, is gaming bad for you? Is it healthy? But the moment motherfuckers started streaming and like 12-year-old kids were playing Fortnite and earning millions, it became such an accepted thing that there are professional gamers. Are they athletes? That's a whole different fucking tangent. Are they athletes? Who fucking cares? But yeah, it's so weird because literally 10 years ago that we wouldn't be having this conversation. Like, it would be.
Yeah, it would be like, no, it's not good for you. It's shit. It's a waste of time. Blah, blah,
blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you guys were talking about the violence thing, oh my god, the violence thing from Modern Warfare. Fuck me, man.
Oh my god, what was it called again? Last Russian? What was the airport scene? No Russian. The most controversial scene ever. Just insane, right?
I've never played any game that gave me the same sort of goosebumps doing that. I was just like, what the fuck is this? But also,
it was kind of disturbing, like, to be honest. Like, it was cool, but at the same time, you felt like uneasy about it after. You're like, I just literally, I know they were NPCs or whatever, but you literally just slaughtered an airport. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think that's especially where the whole violence with gaming came along, wasn't it?
Yeah, the funny thing is, like, I mean, let's talk about that for a bit. The whole violence about thing, gaming that we talked about in episode 1 as well, or rather episode 2 or whatever. It's it was such a big thing, and people were arguing, video gaming rots your brain, video gaming promotes violence and stuff. And then suddenly, suddenly there's money in video gaming. Suddenly people were making millions off the international from Dota 2. People were streaming Fortnite, making tens of thousands every month or whatever, right? And then the minute money enters the picture, suddenly everything's fine. Gaming is great. Look at this new industry. Look at this new look at this new entrepreneurs who stream
Yeah.
since the age of 12 and shit. It's literally nothing to do with the morals that they used to bring up. It's just money. You know what I mean? And that's what annoys me about it. Like all these basically boomers, let's be honest, are like hating on gaming, blah blah, until they realize, hey, shit, we can make money off these guys, right? You can whatever company it may be, your Kingston's, your whatever. I mean, no hate on HyperX, they're actually a great brand, but I'm just saying, they sponsor these guys and they can make money off these guys. So suddenly it's like, shit, gaming's great, man. Let's push gaming, blah 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 blah.
Absolutely.
And it's not even just that. It's like shit. Like, I mean, for example, ASU, one of the hottest streamers right now on Apex Legends, he is sponsored by Hot Pockets. Hot fucking Pockets, mate. What? That's like a food brand. But
It's
back
everything.
yeah, exactly. And I bet you back then, the boomers in that company were probably like, oh, yeah, I don't let my kids game more than like 2 hours a week or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh, yeah, Timmy plays fucking like Fortnite every day because, I want him to be a streamer or whatever. There's such lucrative trade. And it's like, bro, don't act like you were, you know what I mean? Don't get in with the crowd, bro.
I feel like they're trying to groom, like dance moms, like those.
Yes.
I feel like it's now like gamer moms with it, like grooming their children to become like Fortnite streamers, and it's
exactly. And the thing is, I mean, me and Ray were talking about this off camera. I think, off recording, but there's only two ways to get good at streaming. Really, one is you be pro tier. Your Shrouds, your SUs, your Timmys, your whatever, right? The guys who are like basically pro league and then stop to stream. Like Shroud is huge, right, in streaming.
Yeah,
still huge.
He's still massive. Or you'd be like PewDiePie, who's all right gaming, but like so good at that personality side that people just watch to watch him rather than to watch the game, if that makes sense.
For sure, no, absolutely. It's like it's also one thing that people underestimate is that it's a grind. Like for example, this podcast, it might flop, who knows? But the thing is, like, consistency is such a big thing. Like, if you just consistently do it, it'll just grow by itself. Because, like, if it's quality stuff, consistency is the next step, isn't it? So, like,
yeah, for sure.
And gaming can be. I mean, talking about the grind, it can be such a grind as well. That whole like gaming things. These guys play literally 70-hour weeks. It's like worse than working in a way. Well, full-time just that's like 40-hour weeks. That's pretty standard. These guys do 70-hour weeks of streaming because it's the only source of income.
Yeah, but like, fuck me, man. I'm not gonna lie. I think I had a time in my life where, if it was the way it is now, I think during uni I was gonna take. I mean, aside from the fact that I failed first year, I was gonna take a gap year. To actually try to stream full-time, fixed hours, and to like just give it a go. And I genuinely was like, my mom might actually murder me if I drop out of pharmacy for 1 year to fucking stream full time. So yeah, I'm really glad times have changed, man.
I think I've thought about that recently as well. Though now that we're doing podcasts and stuff, we're really literally one step away from streaming. Let's be honest, it's the kind of same medium, kind of same thing. So we have been considering like streaming a lot more, but it's kind of ironic. Back then, it was like too I guess niche to stream, or like too like shit uncertain to stream. Now it's pretty certain. If you make it as a streamer, you make it, right? But it's too saturated now. There's too many streamers to even break into. To get more than like 100 viewers, oh my god, you made it, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. To get like a bunch of people to watch, because this what differentiates you from the next person next to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The easiest way to blow up in the scene right now is to be like a titty streamer, isn't it? Like this. The last time I went on Twitch, man. It was what are they called? One of the categories IRL.
Yes.
And it's just like talking about like basically what we're doing, just talking about random shit, but it's just girls in hot tubs and jacuzzis.
Yes.
And because they're in the water, they can wear like bikinis and stuff and not get slammed by TOCs.
Not slammed by TOCs, yeah.
I'm just like, people are getting so smart.
But I mean, it's
that
quite
blew up for a while, right? Because
it has, yes. I think it's been a while then, T, since you joined onto Twitch. You jumped onto Twitch because the new fad is VTubers. Do you know about VTubers?
Oh my god! Wait! Is it that anime fucking shit?
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. The anime fucking shit. Literally, it's that new thing, and VTubers are huge nowadays. Where basically, you get an anime avatar created of you, and then you are kind of the anime, or you are the avatar kind of thing. And they have their own like characters and backstories and shit, and it's really intense. I don't know how I feel about it either way. I don't really care for or against it, but it's insane. Because they can literally turn the game around. You know what I mean? A lot of these streams, for example, Japan, right? In Japan, Apex is massive, absolutely
Is
huge.
it?
Oh, it's massive there, bro. Like, it's so big that at any time of day, literally, any time of day it ends at, which is any time of day there, obviously, you can find a game because it's so big there because of the
No
VTubers.
way.
Yeah, it's got pushed hard. Australia ends at, it's decent. Like, EA has quite a big market share in terms of Apex for the Battle Royale scene, but over there, massive, mate. Absolutely massive because of these VTubers. And so it's crazy. Like, they created essentially a whole new market of like advertising, marketing, gaming, really, and streaming.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah, which is really interesting, or kind of like different how you can keep that anonymity in a way, but yet still stream and make fucking gajillions of dollars, right?
The fucking dream, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
I think like with all this like new stuff, it's just a huge way to just like, I know they hate to be called like influencers, but like they can change or make something big streaming in general. Because like another example of this, right, is the, I don't know if you guys have been keeping track, but the huge change from into the Final Fantasy MMO. Yeah. So it's blown up huge, and then if you just go onto like Twitch or any sort of streaming platform now, you see a lot of people jumping onto it, and then if you like check the Google trend and the Google searches and stuff, once the streamers started blowing it up, the spike in the trend is just like unimaginable. Like you can't imagine.
Wow.
I mean, like
the
Asmon Go
amount of
swapped
trend.
over, right? Asmon
Yeah,
Go from
So
WoW, and he was
he's
the
like
massive name. Yeah,
the biggest one. I think his first stream, he got like a total of like 2 million
Jesus.
people watching him.
You're kidding me? That's massive.
Yeah, that's the first
God.
stream.
Oh my
And
god.
then with him and with a bunch of others, not only him, but like a bunch of different people working
my
hard on
God.
like changing it. I think even, do you know how it's an MMO, so you have like the digital licenses and stuff?
Yeah.
It was so popular that they had to just sell out of the digital download.
Yeah, I
version.
heard about that. They literally ran out of like digital passes to send to people.
What?
And then like the servers that they had in like the NA and EU was just so full of people that you couldn't even create a new character.
Yeah.
They blew up in that capacity.
I mean, I don't play FF14 nearly as much as you, Ray. Like you've played it for a while now. But there is obviously how they kind of decided, I assume, is basically, okay, this server can hold, let's say, 50,000 people, so we can have so many passes. They basically ran out of passes because all their servers were reaching max capacity.
They didn't expect it, yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, one of the big, it's funny, but one of the big, I guess, gameplay features or mechanics behind it is to literally go into, Limsa, the town. It's a town in FF, right? And you can AFK there, but more times people literally just stand there and like chat or do whatever, right? Nowadays, if you AFK for 30 minutes, you get kicked out because the servers can't handle it.
Holy shit.
That's the influx of people that have joined FF14. It's massive. And it's streamers, like literally streamers turning around. And to be fair, Blizzard, you fucked up with WoW. So that's what happens. Literally what happens.
Yeah, they've all just left it, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. They left WoW for the better MMO. And the crazy thing is, like, I could have sworn MMOs were over. You know what I mean? Like, for me, MMOs kind of like died off after a while. FF14 was probably the last good one. And I remember like starting it with A Realm Reborn and all that kind of stuff. And then after that, it kind of, I mean, it had a cult following to me. Yeah, it like fizzled away. And to me, it was like, okay, that's the end of the MMOs. Welcome the age of the Battle Royales. Welcome the age of the MOBAs. I mean, we have so many of those now, right? And then boom, FF14 comes back swinging, mate. Like, it's massive now. It's so big in Japan as well. Like, just so big.
Yeah, you know what I think is that you're so right. Like, MMOs are basically, they were supposed to fall off, but the resurrection was meant to be Cyberpunk 2077. That should have been bringing back the whole shebang.
You mean RPGs as a whole?
Oh wait, I mean,
Yeah,
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 shit.
yeah,
Sorry, I
yeah.
got it mixed up. But
No, I mean,
yeah,
we can get into Cyberpunk. We can get into Cyberpunk. But the whole MMO thing, I mean, to be honest, let's say the last MMO I played before I joined Rainbow FF14 quite recently was probably, fuck, I don't even know, man, like Guild Wars, maybe? And that was like
Mm.
10 years ago,
God,
probably. Or
yeah,
maybe like
that's a while.
5, 8 years ago, you know? And so it's been a while since I played an MMO, but I will say FF14 has something really special. It's done really well. They actually got like good production, good writing, good voice acting, which is something that Blizzard used to do so well. And then they
Yeah,
just, I don't know, Blizzard just decided, yeah, fuck it. Let's not make money anymore. Let's just kill off the player base. You know?
it's so true. You know what's really funny as well is that you never know you needed good voice acting until you get bad voice acting, and
Yes,
you're just like,
exactly.
Yes.
what
You're
the fuck is
absolutely right.
this?
You are
It's
absolutely right.
it's like watching dubbed anime. You're just like, why do I put
Oh my
myself through
god,
this
thank you.
torture?
Thank you. Another sub anime watcher. Everybody claps. Everybody claps. No, but the whole thing is like what really makes like it cracks me up almost is that Blizzard, massive company, right? And they were so successful for so long. Let's talk about Warcraft. Warcraft, massive series, so good. StarCraft, so good, right? I mean, Warcraft 3 changed the whole face of RTS. It was amazing. The
Yes.
allowance of custom maps basically created Dota. $1 million
Absolutely,
tournament, you
yeah.
know, it's insane,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so Warcraft was massive. Overwatch did okay, you know. WoW was huge. WoW reigned as god of MMOs for the longest time, right? And so you have you clearly have a really good team. They must have got in a boardroom, right, when they're planning the most recent kind of expansions. They got in a boardroom. They're like, "All right, guys, we need a new plan." You know that meme of like, "Oh, we need a new plan. What shall we do
Oh,
for the
they
next
thought-
one?" And probably like some intern puts his hand up and was like, "Sir, I got an idea. Let's lose money for this one." And they're like, "Oh yeah, everybody
yeah,
claps,"
yeah,
you
it's
know?
cool, like-
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like, how do you go from top tier, literally, to like a bottom tier, like the worst MMO right now? Probably. I think.
what did they do that made it crash and burn so hard?
It basically got like worse. Like
To my understanding, they got a lot more like money hungry
yes.
as well. So like a lot of the stuff that they give up is like $30 amounts. Like they spend like a patch cycle and then they get like $30 amount. The story and stuff like
Has died. Yeah.
yeah. They've like tried to make everything like what will happen next, you know, just to try like prolong the
Oh,
story. Drag
Let
out the
me
story.
put this in an anime perspective for people who don't get. Everyone here's watched
Naruto.
Naruto, right? You've watched
I
Naruto,
knew
yes?
it. I knew you were
We've
gonna
watched
fucking
Naruto.
say it.
Okay, you know that arc where Akatsuki with Pain and Pain comes out,
Yeah.
right? And Pain fucking wrecks everyone because Pain is one of the
Yeah.
most god tier characters. He wrecks everyone. What happens after that? He resurrects everyone. Was that one of the most annoying things in anime? Yes. That's what Blizzard did. Blizzard's like, all right, I'm gonna, you know, follow the trend of like resurrecting people and ruining my entire franchise. Let's get it, boys. And then they resurrected everyone. Like Sylvanas came back. Everyone came back basically.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing from the players who you know used to love WoW is it's not just money hungry. They basically gave up on making like content for the game itself. So it's like you're just basically getting to the next. You're grinding to the next so-called quote unquote end game, right? But there's no end game. So you're forever chasing that end game, which never comes. When I used to play WoW, it was about, you know, going with your mates, you know, doing quests together, raiding and stuff together. But now it's like, I mean, how many fetch quests can you do before you get sick of it, man? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, what a joke. The thing is, as well, if I'm not sure if I mean, you guys probably definitely know this, is Star Wars Battlefront.
Oh my
And
god.
there's so much hype behind it, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's so much hype. It was going to be sick. The game was released. It was amazing. And then EA did the stupid shit with microtransactions where normally, I think you guys have talked about this, when you have transactions in a game, it has to be purely cosmetic, right? The moment
Yes.
you
When it's
add
pay to win, it's over. Yeah.
yeah, when you pay to win, your game's going to crash and burn. And EA learned that so badly. Like, I think, oh man, they got so much heat. And by the time they fixed it and they undid their mistake, I think they took a couple months to do it. Their gamer base just went way down. And even when they released the sequel, it still got shat on, even though it was free to play, because they already fucked it. You know, like once you fuck it, you can't go back.
Well, you say
they lost
that, T,
trust,
right?
that you say.
Exactly. I mean, we say that. All of us hate on EA. We hate on the microtransaction companies, right? Who do these to our games and stuff. We take part in it, obviously, because it's now part of gaming culture. Opening chests, opening cases, opening mystery packs, whatever. And we like hate on it. We're like, oh, microtransactions, whatever, right? And we say that, oh, EA has learned its lesson since Battlefront. But then you dip into the EA sports field like FIFA. Bro, you in FIFA to be competitive, and this is off like a couple of people who play it and sources and stuff. Apparently, you need tens of thousands just to be competitive pro league player, because now you have to open cases and packs. It's like Pokemon, right? You open those cards and shit, right? So they have to open those packs to get like I don't know how it really works, but basically in my head there's like gacha games where you get those S tiers to then be competitive to play the game at a pro level. And can you imagine? Yeah, it's insane, right? It's absolutely insane. It's like
to get the Messi's to Ronaldo's.
Exactly that.
They're like, yeah, they have to be. It's like a point, like something drop, right?
Yeah. It's like if you get, and if I'm not wrong, and FIFA players are gonna call me out on this, but I don't care. FIFA's a shit game. Let's say you get your Ronaldos, you get your whatever, right? If I'm not wrong, even the Ronaldos have like different ranks to them, so you have to get like the top tier Ronaldo, which is insane, man. Like it's just a money grab, but. They have their licenses. Yeah,
FIFA and NBA were like the only games, like the sport games are the only ones I never really got into because I'm like, like FIFA's fine, but I wouldn't personally play that.
It's fun with like the lads, like for a night, like a party game. But I don't get it competitively. I
can't believe they spun that type of game into a microtransaction game. Like imagine
it's insane,
Ronaldo,
right? Yeah.
Ronaldo. What the fuck does that even mean? Like.
Yeah, getting like an S tier Ronaldo is like what? And the crazy thing about it though is it's so smart at the same time because EA Sports or EA rather has the license and the rights for these teams. So you can't play basically any other soccer game which has Barcelona or Real Madrid or blah 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 blah, right? And no one wants to play a fucking soccer game where it's like you have blue team and white team and red team. That's lame as shit. You want your A tier Ronaldos and shit, right? You want to play your legends, but what do? They buy those licenses and they basically capitalize the shit out of it. Because what are you going to do? Not play FIFA? No, you love FIFA, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Too bad. Suck it up. Yeah.
Yeah, FIFA's got like this very cult niche following as well. Like,
oh, mate. The people who love FIFA. I'm going to get so much flack to say it's a shit game, but, whatever.
Exactly. I think it's because when they love it, I think that's why they capitalize on it because it's like they have no other option, right? If we make it expensive to get an S-tier Ronaldo, people are gonna fucking buy it.
People are gonna fucking buy Ronaldo. Exactly. I mean, it's that whole gacha game culture nowadays. It's not even just FIFA. One of the biggest mobile games in Japan right now, Fate Grand Order. People spend hundreds rolling on gacha cases just to get like an S tier character or whatever. Same with Genshin Impact. Same with blah blah blah. I could name so many, but it's such an industry now of gamble your money away, but we won't do it as gambling. It's actually opening cases. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mate, the easiest fucking example here that we are all. I don't know about you, Ray. I know guys, and I definitely fell for this fucking trap. Was
this CS:GO in it? Yep.
Oh my fucking god! So during uni as well, second third year uni, I got really into CS:GO betting before it got all called out and stuff. And I actually made quite a bit of money, but it also meant you had to watch it so regularly and make sure you're up to date with the teams plays, all the stuff. It's like betting on fucking FIFA.
Yeah, it's like betting on a sport, really. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So I kept up with it so much to the point where we, I think my whole group of friends, you as well, guys, we all got so into CS:GO that we started opening cases. It was like a little rush of endorphins, but I think we all spent so much fucking money.
It was a huge money sink. I mean, and I will say though, the thing about CS:GO, we spend massive money to let's be honest, we spent probably thousands, I would say, on cases and stuff.
Easily.
And it was in the grand scheme of things. I mean, if you told it to your mom and they'd be like, "What the fuck?" It's like a pixel, literally a pixel on the screen, right? But firstly, let's be honest, it's clout. It makes you shoot better. Having a cool skin makes you shoot better. If I swapped my, Thillak, you played Lurker a lot. If you had a shitty skin, no way you could have clutched matches for us. If I had a shitty skin on my AWP, 0 kills. That's just how it works. But
mate, honestly, no, you're absolutely right. I remember Ray.
It's like that mindset thing, man.
It is, man. It's all cosmetics and it's all transactions. But I remember Ray, one game, I gave him my gun and he fucking clutched it, and I was like, mate, that was the
It's the
nothing else.
skin.
It was the
It's the
skin.
skin. I'm telling you, it's the skin.
It's the look good, feel good, I look good, play good mentality, right?
No, but the crazy thing is, I mean, like going back into that, CS:GO, massive example. They probably created this whole trend of not really microtransactions, but
Absolutely.
these like case opening, this cosmetic skin kind of thing. But the thing about CS:GO is you can sell them back to the Steam market and make money, and then buy new games on Steam, because there's its own little economy in there, right?
Right.
Now, all these EA games, all these new gacha games, the minute you piss money away on it, it's gone, mate. It's gone. You can resell it. You can't. The only way is to sell your account. It's not like you can be like, I got this cool skin A. I want to sell it on the market, because you can't trade it.
Yeah,
Exactly. It's so addictive though, man. So like,
So
I know. Just now you asked me like, like gaming. Like, I've been gaming my whole life, and I've moved country for a couple of years without like, obviously we're all PC gamers. And I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna bring my PC with me because that's a bit fucking tragic.
Yeah.
So genuinely, while I was like, everything was open pre-COVID, I actually didn't mind gaming. I didn't mind missing it. Like it was fine. But the
Yeah.
moment lockdown hit, I wanted nothing more than to like be in my flat, locked in my room with a fucking computer. And what I've actually gotten into recently, because I have a laptop and it's shit, but it still runs a few things. I've been playing Hearthstone, man, and
Oh, really?
oh,
Oh no,
I've
the
hit rock
Hearthstone.
bottom. I've hit rock bottom because like it's these, like we talk about these loot boxes, these chests and shit, and I think Hearthstone has got me as bad as fucking CS:GO. Where I just like open a pack and I'm like, oh my god, I need these new cards. Oh my god, please put £100 on this card, please. Oh fuck, I hate fucking games.
Is that game still alive and running? Hearthstone? I haven't heard
still
any.
big.
Hey,
Right?
mate, I think the recent expansion a few months ago actually brought back a huge player base that was like they haven't seen since they first released the game. Because, like they said, it's like it's a pay to win. Because like the
It is pay to. I wouldn't say it's pay to win. It's pay to play, though. Like to be competitive is pay to be competitive. But the thing is,
to even enjoy the game.
I loved Hearthstone, to be honest. When I used to play it, I loved it. Like it's such a great game. I mean, it was one of the first to put TCGs on a computer and do it well, right? With all the animations and stuff. It's super sick. The problem with a lot of TCGs on computers nowadays is, I mean, let's go back to the time we played TCGs. We're talking about, I don't know, maybe Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, whatever.
Yeah.
Half of it, let's be honest, half of it was, the playing part. The other half was the collecting part, right?
Yes.
Oh, look at this kind of stuff. And that in itself is inherently trading with each other. You take that trading away, it literally it's not a TCG, it's just a CG, man. You can't trade it, you know what I mean? It's just a card game. And so that's what I find annoying about the current TCG, like quote unquote TCG kind of, I guess, market or industry or whatever, is that you can't even trade it. Like, let's say, T, you have a card that you really don't need for your deck. I really want it. There's no way for you to get it to me. I have a card you want. There's no way for me to trade it with you. Right? And the thing is, that's what always boggled my mind about Hearthstone. Because, for example, in Hearthstone, I'm one of those fucking, like, degenerates who always play rush decks, right? I like the game done in 2 minutes. I'm like in and out 2 minutes. You're talking about there's so many rush deck hunters or your mage rush decks, whatever, right? So I play rush decks. So there's a lot I don't need, like let's say warlock control deck stuff. I don't need that, right? I never need it. But what do I do with it? Nothing. I could break it down into those little what do you call it? The dust, right? The arcane dust or whatever, and then have new cards. But you lose so much out of that. You get like a legendary that's what fuck up.
Return on that is fucking compression in a bottle. Like it's also like it actually makes me so fucking mad. Yet I'm so addicted. It's like League of Legends. That
it's a money grab. It's a money grab. Let's be honest, but it's a good money grab.
I've never thought about that until you just mentioned it. But you can't trade it. And you can't actually get the card you want unless, obviously, you buy more packs. How do you buy more packs?
Honestly, T, what I did, because I played the game. We all play ranked, right? A bit backstory about us three boys. We always say we're going to start a game casually. We get hella competitive, and then we start playing ranked, and then we get even more toxic. And that's literally us in a nutshell. So I play Hearthstone ranked. I can't remember what season, but I went all the way up to, what's the third rank from the top code? I can't remember, but it's like, you know how it goes, like your little gem then goes 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So I was the third rank or up. But the only Exactly. And the only way I could get there, and to be honest, I wasn't using rush decks because they get you to maybe like 10. I had to actually play it with like a Pally control. Anyway, so the only way to get there, I actually bought an account with all the cards I needed because it was cheaper to do that than to open booster packs. I literally did that. Yeah, it literally was. I can't remember how much I bought it for, like maybe 100, 200 USD or whatever, right? But I was like, look, I need all these cards. Some of them are legendary, some of them are purples, whatever. If I open packs, the chances are I won't get them. And even if I do get them, I won't get the full deck. So I just bought a full account with not exactly. I was like, all right, I need this booster, from this expansion or whatever. I need that. And I just bought it. And then I did it. And so it's so stupid because like they clearly don't want you to buy and sell cards because it's illegal based on their TNCs.
Yeah.
But I mean, bro, I'm not going to spend $1,000 on boosters and not get what I want. Let us trade and the game gets infinitely better.
I feel like I've been living under a rock because you basically just explained RuneScape in a nutshell.
I'm yeah. It's something people don't think about because they're like, oh, I'm going to build my account and shit, right? But sometimes when you think about it, especially in this day and age where everything is microtransactions, everything's booster packs, everything's this and that, it literally makes more sense to just buy an account with everything unlocked. And yeah, it's technically against gaming rules, technically illegal, right? But
and stuff, right?
Fuck off, man. Like seriously, like the only way for it to not be illegal is to spend $1,000, $2,000. Nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna spend that on a game. You know what I mean?
You can see the whole ability to do that, or the ability that people want to do that, just highlights the problem with the core of it, right?
Exactly. I still think like CS had it right. Being able to sell it and essentially trade it was one of the smartest things they did with their skins. Like when you can trade it, it just opens the market up completely more, and like it puts inherent value to it. I mean, Thillak, do you remember when the Orb Dragon Lore skin first came out?
Yeah.
You boys remember this, right? It was like literally thousands of dollars. Like no shit, it was thousands of dollars, right? Why? Because people put value on it. Now, like, who gives a fuck if you got like a super rare skin or whatever? You can't even trade it. It doesn't matter. It's like literally you look cool, and only if you're a streamer does it get you any clout and stuff. And that I think is the problem with the whole microtransaction kind of like age we're in.
Yeah.
How crazy is that? That we spend hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars on cosmetics that purely is clout. It's like me being a fucking hype beast and getting shit from like the Supreme and rocking up to a club. It is literally the equivalent.
It's gamer drip. It's like gamer drip, isn't it? It's literally gamer drip, and it's like it's such a stupid thing to do, and yet we can't do it. We're talking about you talk about Hearthstone and you put money in it. I literally just started Apex. I've already pumped Raymond, like $200 into it, just for cosmetic. Like just for cosmetics, it doesn't even make sense. I know it's stupid, and Raymond said this to me the other day. He's like, it never is worth it, and it doesn't make sense. But you're opening it for the fun of opening packs as well. You know what I mean? It becomes that thing of like, shit, this is fun. What am I gonna get? There's a gotcha kind of thing going on.
You know what I've actually really enjoyed recently with a lot of games, especially Apex, is battle passes. It's like it's a little bit like in there. You put like a little bit of money, but
yes. And you can get it back, right? You can always get it back if you play through the entire thing.
Absolutely.
I think that's probably the best
smart. It's a super smart way to retain your player base, right?
Yes, exactly.
Because you give them like little quests to do throughout the week, but then that means they're playing, and it just keeps the people playing.
It's like that whole, when you used to play mobile games like, I don't know about you guys, but like Candy Crush and that kind of stuff, you used to have like those daily rewards for like logging in and stuff.
Yeah.
That's literally it. It keeps the player base playing every day, at least for 5-10 minutes. But that way they boost their stats basically, and new people join because, it keeps the gaming community high basically.
It's so smart though. Like I know, like that was purely. Oh yeah, so during lockdown, because I didn't want to spend money to buy a computer, what's the next best thing? Console. I bought a second-hand console from someone.
What did you buy? What console did you buy?
PS4.
Okay.
And you know, which is why.
I mean, if you said Xbox, we would have just kicked you off this Discord. But yeah, all right, you're on the right track so far. And go
I'm not
on,
an animal. No. So when I started playing Warzone and Apex.
Right. Yes.
And I actually Apex. So like Warzone and Apex are so different, right? Warzone's very like controlled, slow paced. It's very team based, the whole shebang. And I think Apex released Loba, and I was like, "Ooh, hotty toddy." I installed Apex and played it, and I just fucking enjoyed the shit out of the sliding mechanic. I think
Oh
the
man,
fast
yeah.
Oh, it just changed the game. And I got a bit addicted to Apex, and I think the Battle Pass made me keep coming back every fucking day.
The funny thing was, sorry, Raymond, you go first. Yeah.
It develops a habit, right? That's what they want. That's
Yeah,
what they
yeah.
want.
Like, yeah.
They want the habit to be formed. Where
That
you're like,
reward
okay, I
thing.
have to come in every day, do my 3-4 stars. Like if I don't do it today, then it's just like, what am I
It's a
doing?
waste of my day. Like I really
Yeah.
paid for this battle pass. I'm wasting like $3 a day or whatever. Yeah, it's genuinely It's a smart
What
move.
is it? Is it positive reinforcement? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Probably,
yeah,
or negative as well because you lose it if you don't do it. No, but what I find really cool, I mean, the whole Apex thing, the whole idea of the battle royales. In my opinion, Apex changed it. Again, obviously you had your Fortnite, which changed it with the whole building mechanics and stuff, and then you have Apex, which is more about movement. We all play PUBG. PUBG was great for the first, like, I don't know, month, and then it just got very old very fast.
Oh, PUBG, man.
And so, to be honest, before this thing in my head, I was thinking, oh, I wonder if Thillak has played Apex. What am I saying? Obviously, he has. He's a fucking gamer, boys. He's a gamer.
Dude, just to remind you guys how much of a fucking gamer I was. So like, I've had a shit PC that used to overheat after like 1 or 2 games of League of Legends, and the only way I could keep playing is if I restarted the computer and restarted everything. So literally, my habit for 12 hours, like during the summer holiday, play 2 games of League of Legends, restart the computer, 2 games, restart. It was like a fucking
Holy
cycle.
shit, man.
It's psychopathic behavior. Like this should not be normal.
Would you ever go back to League, Thillak?
Oh fuck yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, you would.
It's the thing, right, where you don't play a game just because you enjoy it. You play the game because of the friends. Like, there's no way. If I played League of Legends by myself, I would have fucking thrown my computer out of the window after a month. 100%.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the what I forgot what I was saying. Shit. Well, you know what? Yeah, lovely. Live, laugh, love.
No, well, I think the whole thing with League, sorry, not League, is MOBAs in general. They were peak popularity, right? And then now it's almost like its own niche thing again, where nowadays is the days of, I mean, let's be honest, it's the age of battle royales. Like, you want to make money, you make a battle royale. You make it family friendly so that kids can play it as well, and parents give them their credit cards to buy skins and dance emotes or whatever. Just like Fortnite, right? Like, literally, that's how Fortnite makes so much fucking money. But there's so many people I've talked to about MOBAs, about Dota 2, about League and stuff, and they all say the same thing. They're like, nah, but the community, my friends and stuff still play League, therefore I play League.
Yeah.
Right? And I think it's probably the thing with every game. Like, you would only play a game because your mates play it. I don't know a single game that is not better because your mates are playing it. Even Rocket League is better.
Very true.
Yeah, Rocket League's
That's
pretty
so fucking true.
Right?
Like, genuinely, I sorry, I just like genuinely remembered. So I was gonna say the team, like the community thing, absolutely fucking spot on, and friends, right? Like I said, you would have quit like StarCraft. Everyone fucking quit StarCraft because you're solo. It's like 1v1 kind of shit, right? But basically, PUBG, I got so infuriated by how shit my PC was that I literally played the game for a month, and then after a month, the next day, I went to what's the fucking
PB Tech?
Oh, there we go, PB Tech, right? I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get a new graphics card. Pimp up my computer, be good to go. I take my computer there, wanting a new graphics card, and I walk out $2,500 later with a new PC.
Yeah.
And I got into the car. My mom's like, "What's that?" And I'm like, "It's a new PC." She's like, "How much does it cost?" I'm like, "Oh, it's $5." And
yeah, my man. They gave it to me free. Really weird. I walked in, they saw me, they just gave it to me, man.
Genuinely, the moment I plugged it in, I won my first game of PUBG, and it was just the most satisfying thing. But
it's
also
so satisfying. No, I know what you mean. Exactly what you mean.
The most expensive thing I've done for a single game ever was to buy a whole new computer. It was just so fucking crazy.
Oh, till I get in line, mate. I mean, you want to talk about that? The first time I played Witcher 3 was on a PC older than this. I upgraded to play Witcher 3. Then Cyberpunk came out. I upgraded my graphics card to an RTX to play Cyberpunk.
Oh, fuck.
Right? And then I played Apex, and in one in Apex, you know how you hot drop and stuff, right? So you drop in and everyone's there, right? I remember my frames dropped to something like under 30, and I was like, no, I'm not having that. This is like, you know how we are. This is a competitive game. I gotta have like peak performance. Upgraded my entire PC, like literally. I'm running like pretty good rig right now to play fucking Apex. Makes no sense,
man.
Right? But that's the thing. It's so genius because the games generate revenue for the gaming industry, which generates revenue for the games. Like it's like a never-ending cycle, and that's why it's so lucrative. Yeah, it really is.
This is low-key addiction. Like this is fucking. You know how everyone's like, "Oh, you know, gambling's bad for you, casino and shit." Mate, I can't wait for about 10, 20 years for this to be the next like, don't gamble, be careful kind of shit.
Don't game, don't play microtransaction games. It's dangerous.
There'll just be the ads on the buses and stuff. It's just like
no, it'd be one of those radio ads. Do you have problem gaming? Is this you? Yeah or nah? You know that shitty ad? Yeah or nah? And then it's like it comes on, and then it's like, you know, on TV, it's like someone gaming, and then your mom's like yelling in the background or something. Is this you? Yeah or nah? If you're answering yeah too much, please call this hotline. And it's like, but I will say, I mean, like gaming it's quite interesting because on one hand, it's definitely an addiction. You know, gaming can be an addiction. I mean, it's not like I'm not trying to shit on you. You literally failed uni to game, right? It's a thing that can get in the way of life. But at the same time, gaming is so how do I say this? It's almost like educational in a way where I don't know any gamer nowadays who isn't good at problem solving, for example. It's just what we get used to. It's okay, if I can't do it this way, I'll do it 70 other ways, you know? You can talk about it in CS. Probably not a good idea to just run straight in front of them. Let's hit around the sides. Let's flank them. Let's do this. You know, same with Dota. Let's gank them. Let's blah, 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 blah. And that's like things that people since fucking the age of 8 nowadays, you know, start doing. And the crazy thing is, I mean, remember when we started gaming? There's no such thing as the meta, right? What the hell is the meta?
Oh my god.
What's the meta, man? Who analyzes games to that point back then? It was just, let's have a good time. Let's play RuneScape or whatever back then, right?
Yeah.
Now, these kids are scrolling through like Reddit and shit, learning how to be better at the game in the meta. You know, they're like learning the meta, they're learning all these things. And the crazy thing is like they're retaining it and they become god tier gamers. Why? Yeah. Because like it's you're literally teaching them how to learn, how to adapt to like situation, how to problem solve. I really think gaming is bigger than people attribute it for. You know what I mean? They think, you're just having fun. It's a video game. Yeah, sorry, Raymond, you go.
It's a really good enriching thing, right?
I think so. Apart from the toxic community, apart from our generation of gamers, where I mean, Thillak, you come from League of Legends. That is probably one of the most toxic communities in gaming. Let's be honest.
Oh my god! If you want to look at toxic, Jesus fucking Christ!
Just watch a League of Legends game pub and just watch the chat.
The old chat. Yeah,
see the old chat.
It's the most iconic thing with League of Legends community is a streamer called Tyler One. And he's like a massive fucking streamer on Twitch, right? But he's also the most toxic player I've ever seen in my fucking life. Like, if anyone plays League and they're watching this, they know exactly who I'm talking about. He's like a short, fucking bald motherfucker who's ripped to shreds. Like he's shredded as fuck.
Yeah.
But he plays a toxic character in League and also is toxic out of League. So it's this combination that's so entertaining to watch. It's so entertaining to watch, but it's just like, how is this person alive right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the crazy thing is, in this day and age, that is so like, you know, in this whole like woke / cancel culture, that is like just so not acceptable anymore. I mean, I don't know if I must have mentioned this in the previous 2 episodes, but literally first week of Apex and I get banned for being too toxic. Like, and the shit I said in it like wasn't even toxic if you compare it to my like Dota days. You look at my 6.42B All-Stars like chat log. Holy crap, man! I should be in prison right now if you put it, you know, kind of thing. And like it's crazy. Like it's just insane that nowadays you can. I mean, you can't even say anything. Well, firstly, in Apex, you can't even all chat because they want to take that toxicity out, right?
No way.
Yeah, you can't all chat. You can't all chat. In many games nowadays, you can't all chat actually, which hurts my soul because. I mean, what else am I gonna say when I'm teabagging someone after I killed them? Like, you got the old chat, bro. You know?
Yeah.
That's why I genuinely think League is still so good. I think that's
because of the
you know
toxic.
what.
It's funny, right?
There's
Like
still
it shouldn't
it's
be,
the
but it is.
toxic.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's such a toxic community, but the old chat's there, and the ability to do it is there. Like, trust me, man. I've played that fucking game for years. I've said some fucking bad shit, and I've never
Oh,
been called
okay.
out or banned. And it's
Oh
like
no, yeah,
to- to-
absolutely.
exactly. So to put it back into perspective, Tyler One, the guy who is toxic as fuck, he got permanently banned by Riot, and because he was so he was so popular on Twitch that he appealed and they rescinded his
Oh shit.
like his banning. Yeah, they went back on the ban, which is unheard of. What game has been like, yeah, you're permanently suspended? Actually, you generate a lot of fucking money for us. We'll bring you back onto our platform.
That's
It's
crazy.
I feel like League does this on purpose, where they make it possible to flame, and they're like, oh no, flaming's bad for you, but really.
Well,
That's why the
they
community
kind
is
of
so
play,
fucking big.
yeah, the like, unspoken rules, like they.
Exactly.
Part of the game. It's part of the game now to, especially in in Dota 2 and League, to receive or to give that kind of toxicity, and it's almost kind of sad for new players, but it's also kind of funny, and you do it for the lols, you do it for mates and stuff. But what I don't get, I think, is like half of it. To be honest, it is with your mates. So you're just giving shit to your mates, Like, and the thing is, if
Exactly.
it was an Apex, and literally, if I was in Apex with Raymond and I like swore at him in chat, like typed it out, I would get banned, even though we were like mates, because it's like toxic gameplay, right?
Exactly.
Even if I was like, Raymond, let's fucking go, because it's fucking banned, instant ban. Like, no shit, I will get banned. Oh yeah, so we come from this really like toxic gaming culture, which I mean, I get it. Cyberbullying is a thing. It's a problem. I'm not saying it's not, but I don't know. It became so ingrained in gaming community. I mean, it's so ingrained that we find it hilarious in professional tournaments when people like teabag people after killing them, or like, they do like crazy shit like that. But in reality, that's fucked up, man. When you think about it, right? That's toxic ass.
I just it blows my mind that you're so right. Like, people are so sensitive nowadays that, like, literally. So I said earlier that I bought a PS4 to play Apex and stuff, right? I think within the first week, because like you said, you can't all chat. So I sent someone a message on PSN because I was so fucking angry at them. I was like, "You are a cocksucker," and literally the next day, PlayStation sent me an email being like, "We don't tolerate this. This is your first warning." And I was like,
Really?
"What?
That's
the
crazy.
fuck?" Like, I say that as like a side comment in League of Legends, never being pinged. I've told people to go suck a fat cock. Absolutely fine. The moment I tell a 12-year-old to go suck a fat cock on fucking PlayStation, I get pinged. I was just like, this is too sensitive for me.
It's so funny what we get. I mean, let's be honest. Why are we even that angry? I mean, we should probably see doctors for this shit. Like, like the funny thing is, talking about this. I mean, I remember me and Ray once we're playing fucking Rocket League, right? And we're playing like literally like 12-year-olds and shit, and I'm like flaming them, man. I'm just like in chat, not even chat. What do you call it? Like voice speak, being like, "You're so fucking bad, man. Why you even play this game? Like, bro, just take your PS4 and chuck it in the trash, bro. What's wrong with you?" Kind of thing. And like, I didn't even think anything about it, but it's so sad because they're like 12 years. They're probably like having a cry and shit, and like, it's just so
Probably gonna
funny.
sleep thinking about it.
Yeah, they probably can't sleep thinking about it.
No. This is character building. This is how you look at it. We're building up the next generation because they're all
gamers.
wins.
Yeah, you want a game, you gotta have grit, man. You're gonna
Absolutely.
die a lot, you're gonna fail a lot. So if someone calls you out and calls you an idiot and you like cry and quit, then you probably aren't a gamer anyway.
Literally,
Not an ESL gamer.
We're just weeding out the weak.
Such an elitist statement. Said like we're like shrouds and shit. Like hello, welcome to our podcast. This is C9 speaking. Like. Anyway, so obviously we can't talk about Shumimasen without talking about kind of the other parts of geek culture. What about anime to you? You used to watch anime quite a bit. What about now?
Oh, big boy anime. You know what? You guys are absolutely bang on when we talked about Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Oh my god! Yes, thank you.
It is so like. Oh my god! So like, genuinely for me, I love anime, but I can't watch like the edgy indie stuff, like the depressing ones. Fuck off! I'm not watching Clannad or any of that shit. But like, the one of the few animes that I enjoyed so much that after I watched the first episode, I pulled an all-nighter to watch the first season, and that was Attack on Titans. That shit.
Oh yeah.
And then when I watched Kimetsu no Yaiba, I was like, First episode, I was like, yeah, okay, not bad. But then afterwards, like a few episodes down the line, I was like, the animation of it blows my fucking mind.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
And I think the other part as well is it's so underrated, but like no one appreciates that. Like Ray mentioned, the fight takes one episode. You're not waiting fucking 50 episodes for Naruto. You're not waiting for Pain to fucking resurrect and kill everyone again. Like the fight is over in one fight, and that is so satisfying. You know, it's
I
not like
mean,
a cliffhanger or anything.
It's probably, I've always said it as, and it is a hot take that it's like, you know, it's all right, it's not amazing because people rate it like, I don't know about UT, but on like Facebook or whatever, right? You see all these like new, and I say this with love, like quote unquote, like weeb girls who are like, oh my god, I love Kimetsu so much. It's like best anime. And they've watched like 5 animes. They watch Kimetsu and Hayao shit, right? And it's like, oh, I watch Ghibli, therefore I am weeb, you know? It's like, bro, you watch like Totoro, it's a fucking shit anime, like calm down. But Kimetsu is amazing in animation, amazing in fight scene, like the drawings, everything about it's so unique, and the story just lets it down so massively, in my opinion. It's just
You
so
think
average.
so?
Oh, it's so like meh. Like there's nothing about it, you know. It's just a
Have
shonen.
you read the manga, or have you just watched
Yes,
the anime?
yes. So I've watched it. I never like hate on things without finishing it. You know, like you know me. I hate on Harry Potter, but I've read it. I've watched it. You know, I know it.
So you make like
the,
an educated.
yeah, well, the
opinion.
thing is, people are always like, if you hate it so much, why did you finish it? So I can be like, not a dick about it. I actually finished it and I didn't like it. And it's obviously it's my opinion. And people who get butthurt, you know, they're just going to get butthurt anyway. But it's just, to me, the story was, it was just a classic. I mean, there was nothing amazing about it. A bit of siscon, the classic Japanese siscon shit going on. Anime siscon shit going on. A bit of, you know, like, oh shit, Demon Slayer shit. But I mean, what's new? It's just shonen. It's just literally shonen. Have you read the manga though, Thillak?
No, so I was just gonna say, so I haven't read the manga, and to be fair, the anime, I'm actually obsessed. I think the storyline is they've left it like to the unknown, where you just want to keep watching because you want to find out what the fuck's going on, why is it happening.
Yeah,
but anyway, Ray, have you read the manga as well?
I've read a bit. When I was reading the manga, I hadn't finished, so I never really finished the manga. But I watched the shows. I haven't watched the movie. Have you watched the movie?
Oh yeah, Mugen Train. Yeah.
The funny thing is, Mugen Train in the manga is like 2 or 3 like episodes, if I'm not wrong. Is like not that big, 2 chapters, and then they like launch a whole movie about him like. Basically, what's his face, Mr. Fire guy, who gets like wrecked by a guy who's. That's the thing, right?
My God.
I don't want to spoil it because a lot of people the anime's not caught up. It's not caught up to the manga and stuff. But what I can't stand is that, and it's so classic shonen that in one episode Tanjiro is like, oh my god, how could I ever defeat this guy when Mr. Fire guy is like fucking 50 levels over me and he's like having troubles. And then next minute, Tanjiro's God tier Super Saiyan destroying world shit, you know? Like, I feel like it's cool when it's DBZ because that was when we're kids and it's like, okay, yeah, that was anime back then. Same with Bleach and shit. But we've come so far to still be seeing the same shit put on our plate. It's like, oh man, come on. And I get there's a manga that's been written over a while. But then to me, it's like, well, yeah, okay, cool. Animation's cool. Art's cool, everything's cool about it. Storyline, meh, nothing massive. To me, it's like a 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, anime. That being said, though, I'm very story character driven, so like that's why.
Yeah, I think you are.
I mean, like massive fight scenes and stuff. They're cool, but they don't add like 5 points on for me, kind of thing.
You're ridiculous. Like I know, like at heart, you're a role playing guy. Like your RPGs.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I think which is why you're so driven by story. But I think, I swear to God, because like I'm so simple, right? If the anime looks sick, I'm here for it. I'm a simple man. I see cool stuff. I say yes. So it's like the moment. The pivoting moment was Zenitsu, right? I fucking hate him. Like it's just
my god, exactly. I actually stopped watching the first time because of Zenitsu. I can't stand. I don't get it. What was yeah, I literally stopped watching the anime the first time.
So genuinely, I was like, you know what? Like this is actually annoying, but I'll stick through it. When he fucking first flexes on everyone, I was like, I'm fucking here for it, man. When he
flexes with. That's the funny thing. I mean. The whole thing about it, right? Like with Bleach, you have your bankais, you have all that cool stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome. With Kimetsu, what I didn't get was what I did, or rather, what I didn't like was, for example, Zenitsu, the most annoying character. And yeah, obviously, we know he was gonna flex. Let's be honest. You know, he's lightning. Any character in anime which has the power of speed, gon' flex. That's just how it works. Right? It's just how it works. The Japanese anime makers love that like speed aspect, that whole like oh shit, he's suddenly behind me shit, right?
Yeah.
And that's cool because it's very ninja, very like samurai kind of esque thing. What I can't stand is Zenitsu literally knows one breath, right? And he be flexing on like people like so much more powerful because he's like so fast. And then when he's not fast enough, he like somehow develops another. Oh, I don't know if I'm spoiling it, but fuck you guys. Another level of his breath, and I'm like, what? Like what? You can't just do that, bro. How about you get good at your like other breath? That's like five, you know, one, bro. You know what I mean?
I'll keep your shitty opinions to yourself. Now, Ray, I'm going to talk to you about this, Ray.
Yeah.
Basically, when I saw him fucking do the first, like, you know, when they were trapped in the house or whatever, and he falls asleep, and like the animation in that scene, one of the best things I've seen in my fucking life. Like, I genuinely watching that got goosebumps. I was like, this is nuts. And I know, Ray, you're a man of good taste. You are definitely going to be the same, right?
That was awesome. There was the spider around in the house, right?
No. That was the one where the house like kept flipping, to like it turned.
Yeah, that's the one. The very first time you fell asleep.
I remember.
The first time they found the pig fella, the what's his face, the guy with the wild boar mask. That was in that house, right? They like met him and then he like rushed in, kind of thing. Is that right?
Oh yeah. That's the one.
Yes, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think another thing that the animation and everything was really good. But another thing that I remember very clearly about the anime was the music direction behind it as well.
Oh fuck yeah, baby!
Yeah, the music for the scenes, for the action scenes were really good. Yeah,
absolutely. Ray, you've got my 100%. Yeah, you've got my 100% support here. The fucking music makes the show. Why the fuck did Attack on Titan get so big?
Yes.
It's
I mean,
so iconic.
To hot take about Attack on Titans, how did you feel about literally every season after season 1?
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's a different story, right? Like
So season 1, amazing. Like it was so good. Like it just hit the ground running. It was perfect.
It ticked all the boxes, right?
It ticked all the boxes. It was really good, really good, really intriguing and stuff. The whole part about him turning into a Titan, I found quite like okay, a bit weird, but sure, I can get on board with this. And then 2 just went to shit, man. Like what the hell happened with 2? 3 was good for one scene, which was Levi fighting the beast, because Levi is god tier. Let's be honest, his fight scene's amazing, right? Levi, whatever you want to call him. But then after that, I found it got a bit too like, I don't know, almost like culty / religious / weird. You know what I mean? And it always throws me off when like anime tries to do that. Same with, I don't know if you guys have ever watched or read the manga Cage of Eden.
No.
Which is about, it's like Lost. It's like Lost but manga, right? And it starts off really good.
Right.
You know, it's that whole like survival thing. But then they always have to put weird, like, I don't know, like just too weird, like they try to make it very complex, and then it just turns out to be like really weird, like that whole ending. I have you seen the last season of Attack of Titan, or have you finished the manga? It's basically him finding out all the secrets behind it, but then it's like, what the fuck's happening? You know, like what where does this like catalyst Titan thing, and then suddenly it's like almost like a weird time travel thing, and Eren like goes weird and betrays them or some shit. And I'm like, it's not. I can keep up if I want to, but at the same time, it's like, do I really want to keep up with like a story that has gone so off the rails? In my opinion, like just so weirdly, like what the fuck's happening?
The easiest way to look at this, right, is how I look at it, and it's like I take every anime I watch by just one season and the first season only, and that's how I judge an anime. So this is why when you fuckers start talking shit about Sword Art Online,
that's so bad.
Oh my god, my blood pressure, my vein in my forehead popped when I heard that. All right.
No, I think Raymond's okay with Sword Art, no? Ray? Yeah, like
first season was good.
Yeah, first season was good.
Yeah, so see that's the thing, right? Right, the first season, immaculate. Like, you know, everyone wants VR. Everyone want to fucking. I'll masturbate over VR any day. So the first season, phenomenal. Afterwards, I'm not gonna fucking lie. it got really weird. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna try like to sugarcoat it. It got really fucking weird. They added elves, big boobs, all this shit. But I don't know where the fuck they were going. But the first season,
There was like
phenomenal.
weird brocon shit, like fucking
Yeah,
incestuous
yeah.
bullshit. I mean, it's the first season was so good. It started off so well, right? The premise was so good. It was executed so perfectly. Everyone was, like that
Yeah.
scene. I love that scene where they're all in the square, and then
Yeah.
the maker is like, "Hello, welcome to the Death King," and they all start panicking.
Yes,
it was so like
yes,
it was so
yes.
like believable. You could like connect to it. You were like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
If I was there, I would be fucking freaking out. Like amazing,
Yeah.
right? And then, like, suddenly it was fine. We were just living in it. Let's bang Asuka. Let's have, like, a
Yeah.
kid. What the fuck? Like, let's find a kid in the forest and adopt it as an AI. What the hell was that? You know what I mean? Like, there was 2-3 episodes where it was just like, oh, yeah, there's a war going on, but let's take a break and go to our little cabin, and then I'll give you
This is what
piggyback
I
rights and
mean.
shit. Like, what?
They got really fucking weird, man. Like you just I don't know if you ever watched past that, guys. It gets weirder, my friend. I think
Oh,
they
yeah,
were
I watched
tackling-
all of it. Like I said, I don't hate on anything without finishing it.
Oh,
So I
my
watched
God.
Gun Gale online. I even watched the spin-offs, man, and it wasn't good.
So I don't remember. I think the spin-off, Jesus Christ, Gun Game was like I was like, yeah, whatever. Like,
Yeah,
sick,
Gun
like,
Gale was
sick.
good, yeah.
The one afterwards, I think was like, was it Elves? No, there's one more after that as well. Mate, all I know is that after that shit, it took the weirdest turns where they were like families, children here, and I was like,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
you've
yeah,
made
yeah.
VR, like you took VR, and now you're like making it like what the fuck are you trying to do? And I completely agree. After that, it turned tits up, but the first season sort of.
Yeah, like
was-
I think first season, first arc, where
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Yeah.
he becomes the best part. I mean, Sword Art was so good at building hype in the sense of like we all remember first time Kirito dual wields. Holy shit. Like that was hype.
Yeah.
Gets two swords,
Yeah.
nearly dies, 1 HP, and wrecks the boss like one-on-one,
Yes,
destroys it. Best scene, one of the best scenes in anime, right? And then literally
Absolutely.
after that is like, oh yep, gonna take a break. Let's go to my like camping cabin, find a kid in the wild, which is an AI, which has no explanation. And then after that, it just goes really weird. Like Kirito almost like takes a backseat because they're like, look at Asuka, she's so fast. Oh my god. And like I said, when there's a fast character, they gon' flex it, right? So they flex the shit of Asuka, kind of made it weird. And then that was cool. And then season 2 came out and was like, Asuka is still trapped in the death game. Like what? Come on,
I think
guys. Like,
it's really weird because like I think one of the main really surprising like concepts of Sword Art was the first one, the death game one, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone really enjoyed the idea like if you were trapped in the game, like if you die, you die. That was like interesting because it has that risk to it, right? Like if you have that risk where if that character's gone, they're gone forever. But then like once they resolve that risk, like the main pulling point for me, like the whole like your whole life is into that now is gone, and it's just a normal.
Yeah. It's just them playing games, bro. Like cool.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just them like an Elfin. What is it called? Elfin Online or whatever. The weird like elf one, and then like and then somehow they managed to port their kid over as like a fairy. And then he finds like the egg of the world, and then oh fuck, man, just terrible.
This is what I mean, man. Like it's like spoiler alert as well for that Elfin one was his sister basically falls in love with him in the game.
Oh my god, right? Because she doesn't know that. Yeah.
What the actual fuck? Where are they? Is this like fucking porno where it's like stepsister, get me out of here? Like what the fuck were they doing?
I'm stepson, I'm trapped under the table.
But no,
That
but like
shit, right?
going back to Ray's point, the music in the first season, that's what made it for me as well. When he fucking reveals the dual swords, the music in that made it one of the best fighting scenes I've ever watched. And I'm like,
I think
chef's kiss.
I mean, dips to Sword Art Online, they basically relaunched the whole genre, or they like in a way not created, but they like started a whole new genre of that whole isekai thing, right? The whole like, oh, I'm finding myself trapped in another world thing, which is now, to be honest, as someone who loves isekai, going to shit. Like, it's a great genre, but it's way overdone right now. But dips on them for doing that. But it's just such a shame how they took it. Like, it was so good, then literally just plunged to the bottom of the sea in like a second. Yeah, it just got so bad so fast, kind of thing. And that's why I hate on Sword Art Online. It's not that it wasn't. Actually, no, it wasn't good. Yeah, there's nothing to say about it. It just wasn't good.
How does this like so this is what I'm very confused about all the time is that
Mm.
like Sword Art, Attack on Titan, even Demon Slayer, right? Like whatever it is, there's seasons, right? And it works like that. And everyone knows the first season sick, second season's weird. How did Naruto, Bleach, One Piece make it to episode fucking 950,000?
The Bleach got really bad though, Thillak, after Aizen
Yeah.
arc, right?
Yeah, exactly. I've actually personally never watched Bleach, but I heard that as well. But like,
Yeah.
tell me how the fuck One Piece is still going.
I mean, if we talk about it, let's talk about it. Like Naruto, right? Really, all right. And then it got so shit they literally had to relaunch it as Shippuden. I don't know if you guys remember. There was
Yeah.
Naruto, and then there's
Yes,
Naruto
yes.
Shippuden. Shippuden
Yes,
is him
yes.
growing up, and then they almost did the same shit, and they're like, "Oh, we better rein it in," because like shit just got crazy, man. He summoned like the Japanese god of like the sun, basically Amaterasu.
Yeah.
And then Sasuke could summon what's his face, the god of death, basically. I can't remember his name, but like it was crazy. Like it got to that part, and it's cool when it's like that big and stuff. But they literally had to rein it in, kind of thing, right? Bleach went to shit after Aizen arc. Really cool seeing the Visored arc. Really cool seeing the Espada. Really lame seeing Espada 10 being like, oh, I'm actually Espada 0. This is a marker pen. I'm gonna rub number 1 off. Like really weird, right? And so that's Bleach. One Piece, I will say, is one of the ones who that hasn't. I don't know. There's something about One Piece that is so charming that he's on 1,000 episodes right now. That's 50 years running, man. If you, 20 years running. If you do the think about it. 1 year is 52 chapters, Yeti, because 52 weeks.
Yeah.
So he has 1,000, meaning he's literally written it for 20 years non-stop, and it's just been going strong. And One Piece is so big in in the anime world.
Yes. Yeah.
And I think
it's just a skill that that producer had. Yeah. The right.
Just imagine that, like Ray, like I'm assuming you like your more like indie animes as well, but like just how the fuck did they stretch One Piece from it being like I actually don't even know the premise of fucking One Piece. I think I watched a few episodes and I was like, why am I doing this to myself, knowing that I have 800 episodes to go.
I think
go.
Yeah, I think the whole it's how they built the world, right? The whole idea behind the One Piece world is actually quite genius. You have the sea, like you just sell and you can find new world time, so they can just keep constantly like showing you this arc and that arc. And the thing is, they haven't. Maybe they dropped kind of the ball at some arcs where it's like, it is kind of boring kind of thing, right? But every arc is like. It's almost like level scaling. Like he meets people who are interesting enough for him to fight, and yet he has good nakamas and all that kind of shit, right? So that's cool.
Yeah.
Naruto, they started being like it's like Avatar. There's like 5 nations, and then the Fire Nation attack. Like literally, they almost like how do I say this? Restricted themselves, and then his main villain was basically Sasuke, who ran off to join Orochimaru. Blah 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 blah, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then we have Itachi, who's actually a good guy who killed off the blah blah blah. Not to get into it, but there's only so much they could do because there wasn't like a wider world out there. Once they had the 5 nations, was it 5 nations? Once they had the war, the ninja war. Basically, I mean, what can you do after that? What can you do after that? Same with Bleach. Bleach literally had him, the Hollows, and Soul Society. And it got to the point where they had to introduce people like, oh, there's the Aizen arc, and he has his own Espada with him, and to counter that, there's the Visits, right? And I don't want to get into Bleach. I don't really have to explain it.
Yeah, it's actually so funny that you say like Naruto and stuff try to rein it in, mate. Have you fucking watched Boruto?
Oh my god, yeah, you're right. I take that back. They didn't try to rein it in. They tried to copy pasta it. Yeah.
when you said rein it in, I was like, yeah, you're right, and I just thought.
Boruto no, I'm wrong. I'm absolutely wrong on that. That is Boruto. I forgot about the absolute abomination that is Boruto.
Exactly. I didn't even watch. Do you know how I stumbled upon like the end of the first arc was Facebook? There was a Facebook video of Boruto, Naruto.
Yes. In the exam where they were fighting that guy, right?
Yeah. I was watching this and I was like, they are fucking they're clutching at straws here. But the animation is the reason I always come back to certain anime. Is that if an animation is good, like I'm all about like quality, right?
You like the flash, like you like the big fights, the flash and stuff, and that's fine.
No, like straight up, like I can't watch the original Naruto anymore. it hurts
Oh,
my
it's
eyes.
so
Like,
bad. It's so bad. Yeah.
I just can't do it. It's the same as like I can't watch a movie that's 480p anymore. Like, it sounds so fucking obnoxious, but it's just
Oh,
it's
it's
so
not though.
true.
I can't watch 480p like videos and stuff on YouTube either. It's
Exactly,
just
on YouTube.
I'd rather wait for it to load. Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. I'm like, if I can't watch in 1080p, there's no point in me watching. Like, that's literally the attitude I take now doing all this. So it's like, if the animation is sick, I'm fucking here for it. Which is why, for some reason, watching that on Facebook made me watch Boruto, and I can't believe I've done this, but it was actually fucking fire. Like,
Is Boruto
from
good
an
though? I tried to
no,
give it a
okay,
go. I just couldn't get into it.
from an animation standpoint, fucking sick. From a storyline standpoint, yeah, shut the fuck up. They should stop
Absolutely
playing with it.
trashed here.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It's a shame.
Because I did give, I mean, like I said, continuously, I don't hit on shit without watching it. So I did give Boruto a go. I couldn't get past like episode 5, man. Like the whole starting of like, I don't even know, like
I couldn't
ninjas
too.
are like obsolete now, and yet like Naruto's like being like what a fucking ambassador for like the ninja village or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And yet like even because they're obsolete and the shit like electricity, welcome to 2020, right? The shit like trains and shit, and yet they have like ninja exams to like keep the like keep the I don't know the culture or whatever alive. And I'm like, what the fuck? Use a gun, mate. What the hell's wrong with you, guys? Like what?
Actually,
you know what I mean?
I'm
Like
so interested.
yeah, sorry, you
It's
go.
no. I'm so interested, Ray, because like, what would you say your favorite anime is, Ray? Because you have what's your taste?
It's a real hard question that you're just throwing out out of the blue.
What is your
Obviously,
favorite
it's
anime? Like let's turn it around. What's your favorite anime? Like top,
mine.
let's say
Mine,
I
I
don't
think-
know 5. In no order. What would you say one of your top 5 is?
Number one, unfortunately, is actually going to be Attack on Titan.
Yeah?
It'll be I think top 5. So Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer. Oh my god, I'm actually forgetting some crucial ones, man. Code Geass, Gurren
Mean-
Lagann. Like, actually, there's so many good ones, man.
Gurren
Code Geass is a
Lagann.
good one.
I like your Gurren Lagann, whereas the rest of fucking normie shit.
All right, yeah, literally,
I
I'm
mean,
just
like,
googling top 5 animes. Like,
no, obviously, anime it's so hard to do a top just off the top of your head like that, a top like 10 list or whatever. But I feel like it's not. How do I say this? The top 10 for me, right, or my top 5 has to be like absolute. Either I'm a fanboy of, which I am. Like I will admit, some of the anime I'm like top tier is maybe not a 10 out of 10, right?
Yeah.
But then there's some where it's like it has to be just such a fucking banger, like just literally a masterpiece, just something that is not your usual like Kimetsu. Like for me, Kimetsu is like an 8, right? It's alright.
Yeah.
It's not terrible, but we were talking like your Steins Gates. Steins Gate was crazy when it came out.
yeah.
Or your Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. 10 out of 10 for me. Easily, it created that whole like love of cyberpunk for me, right? That whole love of that.
I think
Yeah.
I think with like my like favorite animes and stuff, like how I judge it is like if the anime is like kind of like changed the way of thinking or made me like feel something different, or change like a perspective, something like a good story. I mean, like it's one of the I guess was one of a good favorite anime that I can just bring up. I suppose it's like Fullmetal Alchemist.
Brotherhood or the normal one?
Well, obviously Brotherhood. What the hell?
Wait, are you telling me you don't like the first 50 episode nonsense? Yeah, brother. The thing is though, I mean, and I'm not trying to like shit on you, Ray, but like Brotherhood is such a safe option to pick because it's literally the reigning on MAL for like the last like 20 years. You know what I mean? It's just so. How do I say it? Brotherhood story is good. The whole premise behind it is good. It's such a like it's just it's so all rounded that you like can't hate on it. It's like how can you hate on it? It's just Fullmetal Alchemist. Like what can you hate about it?
But it's good. I like the ones that like finish it properly as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Feel good animes.
Yeah.
Right, that's I didn't expect a basic answer from you. That's shit. That's fucking like I genuinely I was so ready for you to be like, you know what? Unpopular opinion. I fucking love
Ray
the
has
food
some
animes.
pretty indie shit, like some shit that
That's
I
why
didn't expect.
I was
other
waiting.
people
I was
to
waiting
watch,
for some whack shit. Like, there's like the food animes where they cook and it's literally like
Oh my
fucking
god,
porn for
yes.
food.
Yes. One of
I
the
was
funniest.
I was literally waiting for Ray to be like, yeah,
What is
number
it
one,
called?
top anime, easy.
Fuck, what is it
Food
called?
Wars? No, food.
Yeah, it's Food Wars. But what is it called in Shokugeki or Shoma or Shokugeki
Oh
no
my
Shoma?
god.
I'm not
I
gonna
literally,
lie, I got more addicted to that than I am like happy to admit. Like I'm like, I don't know why I like this, but I genuinely like it. Like it's just
it
like
literally
really
blew
hype.
my mind, man. Like I watched Jashin like link to me a couple episodes. Also, Jashin would be such a perfect person to talk to about anime. I watched a couple episodes and I was like, what the actual? I feel guilty for watching this. Like, you know, those memes that are like, if someone walks in on you watching this, you switch to porn. Like, literally, I was there thinking about.
Yeah. It's like more uncomfortable to watch that than porn, to be honest, in front of people. Like some of
Imagine,
the
like,
scenes, I'm like, oh man, this is very strange. Like all the foodgasm scenes, you're like, okay.
Okay.
you're just like, why do I have a weird boner right now? Like, what is going on here?
I think we
Okay,
should
just
do.
me.
We
Never
we
mind.
should do one of those things where we have like a list or like like a 3x3 or whatever of like our
Yeah,
favorite
like a
stuff.
3x3.
For
I mean,
future
like
episodes.
I try to keep my MAL my anime list like updated, but you know, fuck, I have so much more than I actually have listed that I can't remember. So I don't even know what my top few are. But like it's very hard. And I don't want to. I'm not saying this to be like one of those like connoisseur dicks, like, oh yeah, it's very hard to get 10 out of 10. But for me, like for 10 out of 10, it genuinely has to just be like absolute, just nothing wrong with it, absolute banger. Just one of the either like iconic or classic or like, you know, Eva. You can't hate on Eva, right? Neon Genesis Evangelion. You can't hate on it because it's like what launched kind of anime to the kind of cult culture there it is now in terms of figurines and in terms of all that kind of stuff. In my opinion, you know, it's massive. Is it hard to watch nowadays? Fuck yeah! I tried to watch it the other day. Man, I can't go back. It's like 480p or some shit.
I was literally
Yeah,
just gonna
it's
ask
very
if
hard to watch. Yeah,
the
nowadays.
classics like Code Geass and all that shit and Gurren Lagann, if they offered a remake with like today's graphics, like imagine Kimetsu no Yaiba's like fucking graphics on like Code
Animation and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll be hype.
Sorry, yeah, animation's not graphics. I keep fucking mixing it up. But yeah, animation's like a remake. Would you guys say yes to the remake, or would you just leave it as like how it is?
I think there's a certain charm about the 90s animes, you know, the way it's like gritty and like that. You can tell when you see a 90s anime, you're like, shit, this was made ages ago. And like, it's almost like there's the jewels of that time is like, man, to produce this level of not even animation, of like this level of hype, this level of like quality with that kind of shitty ass like animation technology back then. Fuck man, keep it, because like good on you. You made a 10 out of 10 with like basically I don't even know what they used back then, pen and paper probably. You know what I mean? And, like flipping through pages and shit to make that, you know, those like picture books that like move as you yeah, like literally that. And it's like, wow, to do that, okay, good on you, bro, go for it, kind of thing. And so for me, it's like some of the 90s anime, just leave it. I mean, it's hard to remake it. They always do those movie remakes, right? Where they put like Gundam or Eva into like one movie and then they're like, here you go, kind of thing. And I don't know, I find it like it doesn't add anything to it. It's not like, oh, now that it's fancy, I'm gonna watch it, because I've already watched it like 3, 4, 6, 7, 10 times because it's a great anime. You know what I mean?
It would definitely make it like something that you will rewatch, but I don't think you'll get the same charm.
Yeah, you won't.
When you first watch
great
it.
point.
Yeah.
Honestly, like to be fair, I think it's obvious now, like after everything I said. But I'm like a casual when it comes to anime, right? I'll watch the classic basics like Code Geass, Gurren Lagann, like you name the popular ones. Hopefully, I've watched it. But like, it's just I think when you're a casual like me, you just pick the very easy things that you enjoy looking at, like the animations. If it's good, you're here for it.
I think that it's like entertaining. You know, it's just like I want to switch off my brain and just watch something entertaining, kind of thing.
Exactly, which is why I genuinely think Kimetsu no Yaiba is just like fucking hit like
so many boxes for people.
Apparently when the movie got released in Japan, it was one of the highest grossing anime films ever.
I can't say this, and I don't hate it. You know what I mean? I just don't like the hype that it generates. Like people are like, it's like top 10. You know, like I mean, one of the other kind of or any of the other anime podcasters out there, they will probably say this as well. It's like, oh, it's 2020, therefore I have to like Kimetsu. Like, no, it's all right. It's okay. It's not that great. You know what I mean?
It's mid.
It's mid. It's fucking mid. It's higher than mid, but you know, it's not amazing.
It's literally like if you're a normie, what do you look at? You
Mm.
see the animations. That's why I think everyone's so hooked on it. Because like, admittedly, it is
It's easy
ridiculously
to watch.
like
It's very
brilliant.
easy to get into because
Exactly.
like the
Yeah.
animations are good. It doesn't like some anime. I will admit that is very like hard to get into because the stories either too
Mm.
deep or too dark or too like like I don't know, like Monster for example, the anime or even the manga. I don't know if you guys have read it. Well, I think we talked about this in
Yeah.
episode 0, but Monster is real like. It's a real like I don't know, not slow pace, but it's one that you can't just be like, yeah, I'm gonna wake up at 8 a.m. and just watch it before I go to work, kind of thing. You gotta be like into it. And so it's not something you just have playing in like the background or you just like brainless watching it because there's a lot to it, like details and stuff that you can't miss.
Right.
Same with your Ghost in the Shell, same with your whatever. But I don't know. Those are the ones that I will rate 10 out of 10. You know what I mean? The ones that are like, holy shit, like this
A bit
really.
more edgy.
Yeah, I guess I'm just an edgelord.
That's right. I'm a normie. You're an edgelord. Ray likes food porn. It's fine.
Yeah, Raven just likes all the like etchy shit. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. So like, to speak about action scenes and stuff from anime, I think a standout action scene recently that I watched was from Jujutsu Kaisen. Have you watched that one?
Holy shit. Okay, so I've had this open on. So I'm a fucking disgusting animal. Well, I have 100 tabs open.
Yeah.
I've had this anime open on my tab as a to watch for the longest time, for the last like month or two, because I've heard so many people being like, if you liked animations from like Kimetsu no Yaiba, that this would like hit the same spot. What are your thoughts on it?
It's interesting. It's definitely good. There is a few fight scenes that are like I was gonna say it was even like some fight scenes was even better than fucking Demon Slayer, in my opinion.
Whoa.
I would actually agree with that. When I watched Jujutsu, I actually enjoyed it more. To me, like you're talking about that whole like shut your brain off and just watch for entertainment's sake.
Yeah.
Jujutsu hits higher on my list for that than Kimetsu does.
Wow. Okay. Yo. Man,
because for me, Kimetsu, what annoyed firstly, Zenitsu just kept. It was like you're like enjoying it, it's great, and then Zenitsu just has to annoy the shit out of you, and it's like what the fuck, like why? And then the second thing was Nezuko. Like love Nezuko, great character, very kawaii, very chibi, very cute, whatever, right? But like kind of like distracted from it a little. The scenes where like it's like, oh, we're fighting demons to try and save my sister. Oh, jokes, Zenitsu's gonna chase me around the house and like Nezuko in chibi mode. Like what the fuck? Like, bro, like choose one or the other, don't randomly have like a comical scene for no reason. Whereas Jujutsu has that like gritty, like shonen feel to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I actually think Jujutsu hits higher on my list in terms of like just pure action entertainment. Like if I was like to
you also need to remember that like this shit is perfect for Japanese people. They will froth.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And for like casual watchers of who just want something like cutesy and like very anime. Yeah, it takes the right boxes. Absolutely.
They know exactly what audience they're fucking making this for, which is why they've milked it. But also as like, I guess more like hardcore fucking. I mean, I'm a fucking normie at the end of the day with anime. Yeah, more culture. The moment Zenitsu came on screen, I was like, this is fucking annoying. But the little redemption thing when he flexed, I was like, you know what, you can keep your weebiness.
You can stay.
Yeah.
I'll allow it. I'll go another episode because of it, because you flexed kind of thing.
Seriously, it was like that.
I don't know if you boys have ever seen it, but when we're talking about action anime, and this is probably. This for me is 100%. I admit it. It's a fanboy thing. I rated it out 10 out of 10. It's probably not a 10 out of 10, but like the Fate series for me, complete 10 out of 10s all across the board. The action scenes are like Fate introduced me to like that. Firstly, the VN world, right? But I don't know. Fate is to me is just such I'm a massive fanboy of Fate. I've watched like not all the Fates because there's like 500 of them, but like I've watched all the big ones. I've watched all the even more obscure ones and stuff. But Fate for me, like the action is good. I really like the story. It's not. Let's be honest, it's not historically accurate, but having some kind of like world history. Because I'm quite a geek when it comes to like, oh shit, Leonidas is in this, or like, oh shit, it's Gilgamesh, right? And to me, like in my head, like I know obviously it's not like fucking historically correct, but to see Leonidas fight Gilgamesh, I'm like, holy fucking shit, this is hype as hell. You know what I mean? And so like for me, that's the whole thing. And like I love the Fate action. Like Fate Zero, holy crap, that definitely Fate Zero is probably one of the best Fates. And then like Unlimited Blade Works, Fate Stay Nights, and all that. The action for me was on such a different level at that moment of time. Like when I watched Fate Stay Night, I was probably like around Naruto times, and it was so different because it was so like almost like adult. You know, it was like not really like seinen, but it was more adult than Naruto. Naruto is very much like little kids fighting.
This is genuinely
what I
the
mean?
most. This is genuinely the most fucking niche thing I've ever heard in my life. What
Have you
the
never
fuck
heard of
is
Fate?
Ray? Hang on. The easiest way to test it right now. Ray,
Yeah.
have you heard of this fucking anime, man?
It's big. It's big. I've heard of it. I've
Oh,
seen
okay,
like
see-
little
Wait.
bits
Let
of
me
it.
pause right here. I mean, to put it in perspective, Thillak, the biggest mobile game in Japan right now is a Fate game,
oh
the
my
biggest.
god!
and it rakes
Once
in
again, that proves I'm a fucking normie because like I literally I even googled it. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
It's really confusing though. It's really confusing. There's like so much different stuff.
Oh yeah,
Um,
the Fate timelines and the Fate kind of world is so confusing that even like Fate people who are like into Fate are like, what the fuck's happening? But it's really cool because I mean, Tillak, if you ever want to give it a go, what Fate is basically a whole bunch of like mages or magic users, I guess. They summon ex heroes from the past of the world. So you're talking like I said,
What?
yeah, you're talking literally like Gilgamesh, Leonidas, or King.
Arthas.
I want to say King Arthur, but she's the female version of King Arthur, so a bit
Yeah.
weird. But yeah, King Arthur, and then like Fate Zero has like just a whole bunch of characters. On Netflix there is Fate Apocrypha, I think is how you say it.
That's the one I watched a bit.
I will say it's not the best Fate in terms of story, but action, holy shit, it's a banger. Like the action on that is insane. And then you see like like all these crazy like Mordred and all these characters come up, and they're all wife as fuck. Let's be honest, that's probably half the appeal of Fate. Everyone is like, oh shit, wife. But
Yeah.
Fate's action is so good. Like I love Fate's action. I love the whole premise of like being able to summon heroes from like the past of Earth or whatever.
Mm.
And
To be
that's
fair,
that's
yeah.
great, yeah. That's
I actually back that, but like, is it like a Yu-Gi-Oh thing where they summon?
no. It's not like fucking deck and then they put a card down. It's literally like you summon them from another, like the history or whatever, and they're
Yeah.
like in that span of the tournament, because they're fighting to win the Holy Grail, basically, right?
Gotcha. There we go.
Yeah, which has the power to change the world or grant you any wish, blah blah blah. So the
Right.
whole kind of premise of it is that you summon them, and for the time of the tournament of you fighting each other, it's like a battle royale, literally, of you fighting each other. They are there like as a person. You know what I mean? They're there as like
Wow. Okay. Gotcha.
yeah. And so, to be honest, the way Fate started, the anime, it's actually an adaptation of an eroge VN, which is eroge is like a hentai VN basically, and so that. So it's like them, like like you get with like Saber, you get with Rin, Tosaka. How did I forget Rin? Like only the best wife. Anyway, like Rin, Tosaka, and then and Sakura. And so that's the three Fates. So Fate Stay Night is where the Saber arc, where your hero or your main guy gets with Saber. And then you have your Fate Unlimited Blade Works, which is Rin's arc. And then the recent movie release in Japan, which was massive, by the way. Holy shit, what's it called? Heaven's Field? Yeah, Heaven's Field is
Jesus Christ.
Sakura arc. So it's like literally one story that they made into three different kind of like timelines, which is why I think people like it, because whichever your wife is, there's a timeline for it, and you can just watch that one. You're like, yes, sweet. he got with the right one. You know what I mean?
That is-
the right
that is-
story.
Genuinely, guys, that was the most weeb sentence I've ever heard you fucking say.
Oh,
in
bro,
my life.
like we not gonna like pretend we ain't all weebs here, man. You want my wife list? I'll give you my waifu list, man. That's it. We'll get started. There's a whole episode, another 3 hours into it. Probably not even finished. Sorry, Raymond, I cut
Jesus.
you off when you were saying something before, though.
I've forgotten what I was gonna say.
Okay, that's fine. No, but like I do admit it's very fanboy. So 10 out of 10s for me. Like that's the only reason it's in there. But it's very hard. I'm not saying like I have like fucking perfect taste or whatever. It's just very hard for me to be like, shit, that was like the absolute best anime. Because there's always something that annoys me about it. Like I don't like serious animes where suddenly there's like they always the animes love to chuck in that like comical character
Comedy aspect. Yeah.
just for like the sake of comedy, and you're like, why? He like takes so much away from the show, which was like so immersive, so good before.
It's legit. Like if you think
Mm.
about it, it's exactly what fucking movies are doing now. Like these days, all the Marvel movies, they keep doing this.
It's
And
like they
people
found
get
a
fucking
recipe
so
for it.
pissed.
Yeah, and
Yeah, and
it's
it's
kind of
like-
annoying
it's like-
to be honest.
Yeah, like depending on the movie, yeah, fucking it makes sense, fine. But like they've been doing it for like a lot of like serious movies, and they need to chuck in this comedy aspect and like a few jokes here and there. It's like there's no fucking need.
It's annoying, right? Like just it's a serious movie, and then suddenly there's this comedy for no kind of reason, and yeah, you get like a giggle out of it. You're like,
Yeah.
great. But it's like it doesn't add anything, and it doesn't make the story better. You have so many stories which don't do that, which are fucking amazing. So many anime, sorry, like. I could name them, but it's probably quite niche. Like Black Lagoon. I don't know if you guys watch it. Fucking amazing anime.
I watched Black Lagoon.
It's good, right, Raymond? It's
Yeah.
so good, and it was serious. It was gritty the whole time. They didn't have to add like a random. I guess Rock was kind of comical in his weird sense, but it was believable because he was he was a guy who was literally kidnapped to live in the world of like a cesspit of like murder, basically. You know what I mean? And so it makes sense. Same with. Fuck, I could name them, but like same with Planet. Planet is the funny thing about Planet. Planet was made just to be sad. It's like, how can we fuck this guy's life up? We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
We emotionally scarred to watch it.
I can't do that shit, man. I was talking to
Have
one
you
of my
watched
friends.
Planet tonight? Ever?
So fucking Aaron, man. So I remember I was like,
yes.
I was in my anime phase, and I was like, oh Aaron, like, hook me up with an anime, and he sent me Planet, and I was like, okay, it's sick, and he's like, you know what, like, don't worry about it, just stick through it, it's fucking sick. I watched one episode, and I'm not fucking here for this. This is fucking rubbish. This is literally depression in it, like, oh
Yeah.
my, yeah.
Did you watch Planet or Planet After Story though?
Planet, the original one.
Yeah, so Planet original one was like made to fucking just break your soul, and then Planet After Story was the one where they like kind of, I guess, fixed your soul kind of. But yeah,
See,
I will say
that's the thing. That's the thing that also annoys me is that if you make Planet, you know exactly what you're doing. Like, stick to your
absolutely.
guns.
Absolutely.
They probably got so much pressure to like fix it that they made a like spin-off to like fix everything, which is like, but like, stick to your fucking guns, lads.
Does that mean, in general, do you not like romance anime, or is it like the Planet kind of that you don't like?
I don't know. Like, the depression anime fucking hits hard, doesn't it? Like, it just, and like you said, it's so crushing.
Some anime like literally fucks me, man. Like it just I can't.
You
can't
turn it off and you just sit down for a while.
You're like, oh my god, what did I just
stare out the window for a bit.
To put it into perspective, literally, I feel sad after I finish an anime. Like after finishing like, I don't know, fucking Naruto, Attack on Titan, whatever it is, the end of the season, I'm just like a little bit
it's
depressed.
over. Yeah. It's like, oh shit, what do I do now? Yeah, I know that
So
feeling.
why the fuck would I watch like a depressing anime and then
feel even
be
worse?
more depressed?
No, it's
like,
like it would be the other way around. You'd be like, oh, thank God it finally ended. I can be like happy again. There's color in my world again. Like,
the reverse.
Yeah, the absolute reverse psychology. How to be happy? Watch more depressing anime. But no, Planet is one of those. I feel like they got in a room and they're like, let's make it absolutely the most depressing. Not the most depressing, but like, let's ruin this guy's life 101. You know what I mean? It was very, very, very disturbing.
Definitely hit hard.
Have you guys seen Graveyard of Fireflies?
Heard of Fireflies actually.
It is one of the few Ghibli movies that I'm actually like, all right, it's all right. Like it's not. Oh, sorry,
Really?
It's actually good. It's like a 10 out. I'm not a fan of Hayao or Ghibli. Like I just don't think it's that great, and I'm gonna get so much hate for this right now. It's a massive hot take, but I just think it's like, like okay. Like what the hell is Ponyo, man? What's Ponyo? Come on, what the fuck's Ponyo? And what is Totoro, man? This shit. Spirited Away, good. I rate that. Mononoke, good. Ponyo, man. The minute you put Ponyo in, boom, his entire portfolio goes to shit. I'm sorry. It's just the weirdest fucking terrible shit.
Ponyo just throw it back into the water.
Yeah, but Hotaru no Haka, or I think it's Graveyard of Fireflies in English.
Wait, is House Moving
Yes.
Is House Moving Castle Studio as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
did you like that?
Away. I actually
did you
didn't
like
mind
House
it, man,
Moving
but
Castle? Okay.
I was also like 12 years old when I fucking watched it, so I can't even remember. But also, watching Spirited Away as a kid was the most fucking scary thing I've ever watched.
It's actually
It was-
scary, yeah. I rewatched it the other day. I'm
messes
like,
you.
this is creepy as hell. Like when their parents became pigs, I was like, what the fuck? This is creepy as
Yeah.
shit, man. And like we watched it when we
Bro.
were like 8 or 12 or whatever, you know?
And then the
Exactly. Like
spiders,
when you
the spider uncle. Like, what
Oh
the
my
heck?
God.
right? Yeah.
just
It's-
everything about that movie, like obviously like you can break it down and there's heaps of like, like creative writing behind it and you can do like a film study of it, like fine. But watching it as a fucking kid, man, it actually scarred me.
Well, it's like it's like the OG isekai of like the bad way, you know, like everyone nowadays of isekai. T, do you know what isekai is before we get into it? Actually,
No.
so isekai is the Japanese word, if I'm not wrong, for like new world or like another world basically. So it's that whole thing like slime anime right now where he gets hit by a train, ends up in another world. All the fucking Overlord where he playing a game ends up in another world. Log Horizon playing a game ends up in another world. Blah 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 blah. Another
Like
world,
Sword
another
Art.
world,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sword Art, yeah.
Basically Sword Art, right? So where your main character basically is from our world, gets sent to another world through whatever means. So that's isekai in a nutshell. And so Spirit Away, in a way, is the isekai. You know, she crossed over into that weird spirit death world. But it's like isekai if it was bad. Because isekai nowadays is, oh man, I have all this like modern world knowledge. I'm going to be God tier. And then go and they just destroy like all these guys using like bows and arrows and shit. And they have like crazy like caster spells and stuff, right? But this girl is like fucking like 8. And she's literally having to like fight a witch, man. Like, come on.
It just
She befriends a dragon. Like a dragon. Come on,
Yeah.
it's insane. Her parents get turned into pigs. She meets a spider dude, who like has at his command like literally millions of like little black fuzzy things crawling on the ground.
Yeah.
And then like she makes her way up, and she's making her way up. There's like a walking turnip, basically, right? Like holy shit, man, that is terrifying.
like how baked was this guy making this movie? That's all I always think of is
And
this is
yet
the
that is
premise.
probably one of his best movies. Like
Exactly. It's like
oh, it's so
oh.
bad. Like Ghibli's so bad.
welcome to
It's
fucking
such a
anime.
hot take. It's just such a hot take. Like people hate on me. They're like, oh my god, Ghibli's so good. But I'm like, it's only because he's like very westernized. You know what I mean? It got marketed heavily to Europe or US or whatever, and then they're like, holy
Exactly.
shit, look at this god of anime, Hayao, and like, no, hey, like, good on him. He's made fucking shit tons of money, make good anime and stuff, but it's so overhyped for me. Like, it's just like, okay, like Hotaru no Haka. 10 out of 10 destroyed my life. Like honestly, I couldn't like function for like a week after that.
Yeah,
But-
I heard that was like real depressing.
Bro, it's so fucking depressing. It's about World War II and like 2 siblings, so you know how they're gonna go already, right? Like, fuck, man, oh my god, I couldn't, man. Thinking back actually breaks my heart right now. Like, it's so
Yeah,
hard
you're
to watch.
fucking blowing my mind. Like genuinely, Ray, are you the same? Do you like pick depressing animes? Do you like? Do you
I
literally
do
pick them? Like you know what you're going into. You pick them. You're like, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna watch this.
sometimes you go and you just want to feel sad for a moment, so you're just like, okay.
Well, it's just because it's sad doesn't mean it's like a good storytelling. You know what I mean? T? Like sometimes there's like a lot it adds. Not it adds. Like it's just a good anime, but it's just it happens that the genre is sad. The genre is just depression.
I think a big thing about it is like, you know how I was talking about before, like my top animes were the big things that can resonate with me. Like if a show or anime can resonate that much with me, that means there must have been something that was there. That's
No, I completely agree with you.
That's actually a great point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's so much depressing shit out there, man. Like to be honest, even in manga and stuff, and like
Bro,
even in
shit,
like
just-
hentai manga.
You want depression stuff? Just open the news tab.
yeah. Just
Oh,
like
God.
open like world news and stuff. But if you want to be depressed, watch Hotaru no Haka. If you don't want to see that shit, don't watch it because I guarantee you it would break you. Like it would.
You have to go in knowing that you're gonna.
You have to
like,
know.
No, exactly. Yeah.
It's very, very, very painful to watch. To be honest,
Exactly.
Like,
This is what I mean. You guys know exactly what you're getting into. Whereas, like for me, I was like watching Planet for a bit. I was like, what the fuck is going
You know
on?
when
Like,
people
I'm not
watch
trying
horror,
to-
like people watch horror and they like that thrill, right? They're like, oh, I know I'm gonna be
That's
scared.
me.
But,
Yeah.
yeah, that's you, right? That's me with that. Like, I know I'm gonna be sad, but like, I want that. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm like broken inside. I need something like make me feel alive. It's like shit. I have feelings, not a robot.
This is the weeb version of counseling.
No. This is what happens when we watch too much anime and it like breaks you, and you're like too into like otaku culture that you like need to watch anime to feel like a human again. Literally. Anyways, we're about to reach the 2 hour mark, so I think we'll probably start to wrap up this podcast. The good thing is now that we have the full squad of us, Tilly, me, Ray, we can start getting all guests in. So we will have guests as like voice actors or D&D dungeon masters or any kind of like board game enthusiasts. So a lot more than just your anime, your gaming. Which, to be fair, they do that too, but they do something else as well, not just like us. We have no lives, right?
We expand to our hobby.
Exactly.
Part
So
of the podcast.
it is a hobby podcast. It's a geek hobby podcast. So we want to include kind of like every kind of hobby as much as possible. So you can expect that. You can expect even more banter between us, the boys, and just us talking shit, really. So thank you for listening, and please follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Do you two have any ending notes? Anything you want to say before we say bye?
Well, we can just think our Twitter and stuff. So like our twitter.com/Shumimasen podcast pod. So and then our YouTube, I think we have to get a special link for it, but it'll be on our Twitter, and you can just link yourself. And give us
or even on Facebook. Yeah. On Facebook, we do keep the update on Facebook and Twitter anyway. What about you, Thillak? Any ending notes for the 5 people who are listening?
No, it's been sick, man. What a great start to the boys fucking podcast. But
the boys are back,
really...
man. I mean, come on, it's been a while, and what a way to like reunite, right?
Yeah, we've been looking forward to having Thillak on.
It's been really fun. It's like a little worldwide podcast. I'm like in the UK while you guys are in New Zealand. It's actually pretty spicy.
I mean, to kind of jump forward a bit, when Thillak gets back, we're even thinking about filming it live, and not live, but like filming it so you can see, us in person and stuff and all that. And I think that'd be really cool if we can do it.
That would be.
But like, I think it will be something that we might try and do for YouTube. But yeah, stay tuned. And I think that's us for today. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you in 2 weeks' time.